Okay. Welcome back. This is the least time we've ever had between two sessions because I was feeling nice. And so we have one a week after the other. And then after this, we won't have one for 2 weeks because someone is going on a vacation. I'm not gonna name names, but... But I'll start by re-describing what happened last session, just in case we had some forgettings, that was the proper grammar, in between last week and this week. So last session we had a ferocious battle between Rockcrusher, fully transformed into his dragon form because of the curse of the dragon, and the party with the help of Creed and Elise. Virtue and Otto fell into the hole that Rockcrusher created in Drawhadux, and both of them ended up back in Zathrax with things being very different. There were so many guards stationed around, but no civilians. You were informed to go to the House of Praise, where Creed will explain everything. You make your way there, you talk to Creed, where he gives you the bad news that both Luna, the Queen of Hulta, and Spine are in Zathrax. They don't get long to chat before a large boom sound is heard. Creed's bandana turns into a pile of ash. The ash of the reset that Virtue saw in the museum not that long ago. And Creed runs out the building saying something happened to Luna. Virtue and Otto chase after him and find their best dragon friend standing on top of the building with Daichi in one hand and another person in his other. Rockcrusher attacks the party, and while it looks like it was winning, his curse was getting stronger and the party was getting weaker. That was until a familiar face of Sisu and Cinderburn show up to help. Sisu's body fully transforms into the first Empress of Zathrax, and with her help, the party was able to defeat Rockcrusher with ease. After he falls, Rockcrusher is declared dead, God rest his soul. Sisu argues with Quasi-Blindseye, who had been watching the whole thing, not helping at all, like a jackass. And after being berated by his ex-girlfriend, basically, he says that he's going to fix things, Quasi does. But he says that he needs your help to do that. However, before we get back to the party, we're actually going to start with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Rockcrusher.
Oh.
Yes, you brother. You have been watching this whole fight from your own mind. You still felt all of the punches and everything hurt as if you were just in the fight. And you can hear everything that your friends have been saying, but you weren't there. You weren't in control. You watched yourself break into the Capitol building. You held Daichi in your hands, but never actually hurt her. Seems like some of your true self still shined through, even if you had no control over the rest of it. But after the final blow against you, everything flashed. Instead of seeing your life flash before your eyes, as many say, all you see is a gray environment around you. You feel like you're floating. Well, it's because you actually are floating. For the first time in a very long time, you actually feel light. As if a weight has been lifted. You can't hear anymore. You can't see what happened after the final blow. But you still feel peaceful. You float around, questioning the weird void environment that you're in, saying, what is this place? Is this the afterlife? It better not be. You have unfinished business that you need to attend to. There's no way a fight like that is the reason that you've died. You weren't even the one in the fight. As you're having this conversation with yourself, in the distance, you see the image of a person begin to form. Starting with the feet, you see a black cloak begin to form and appear. The cloak has two parts. The inner dress, that is this dark purple color, with textures of stars and constellations covering it, and the outer cloak that is a velvet black. As the figure slowly forms its legs, torso, chest, and eventually its head, you see the spitting image of Quasi. Not Quasi-Blindseye, just Quasi. He has a smile on his face, a very calm smile. Welcome to the afterlife, Irax. Please follow me. But let's move back to the party. Virtue and Otto.
Yes.
Even though the massive dragon is dead, everything should be laying still. It's not. There are people still running around, some guards trying to look for Wolfsbane, Jinx, Spine, Luna, others screaming something very alarming of, "Something's happened to the queen." And it's the second part that specifically alarms Creed the most, with "Something's wrong with the queen." A bunch of guards are staring at your group as well. After everything that just happened, of course you're going to be the center of attention after all. Seeing you kill the massive dragon, seeing Rockcrusher form from that dragon, seeing another Quinn-like being, and seeing the Empress that should be over 15,000 years dead, really shocked their system, surprisingly. Sisu looks done with all of their deer in headlight stares, and she yells out, "What are you looking at? You have no authority to be staring like that. We are not a circus act. Get this crowd under control and get everyone inside their homes now." The guards seem a bit shocked, but quickly start running away after seeing this person form literally from the first Empress. But it still seems like something is off even when all the guards leave. The ground is vibrating ever so slightly. The sky is still that eerie gray color. And you even see little bits of the ground turn into that same ash that Creed's bandana turned into. Sisu turns around to you all and just lets out a heavy sigh from everything that's just happened. Are you guys all right?
Mostly.
I'll live.
I actually have a question. Seeing that Daichi was in one hand and there was another person in the other hand. And I know there was noted that Daichi was in his hand for the whole fight. That other person wasn't really mentioned. I don't know if they were forgotten. Are either of them here?
He let go of the other person that was in his hand, but Daichi was in his hand the whole fight. And so when he transformed back into himself, Daichi fell to the ground, unharmed. So she is with you.
And who was this? What was this other person? Were they just a random? Did we notice who they were?
It was too far away for you to really see who it was.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, what's now?
If I remember.
You said we need to go break a curse, but so are we going to the cave again?
Yeah.
Sisu looks over to Creed to see how he feels about the whole thing, so your eyes naturally glance over to him as well. And he does not look like his normal happy self anymore. His hair is disheveled, his robe has somehow still clung onto his body through the whole fight. It's torn up, and he doesn't have the clean bandana anymore. He doesn't even have his smile anymore. Things have gotten very serious for him. We need to get her body before they can get a hold of it. Creed's face is staring right towards the Capitol building, but his body is still pointed towards you. And I need your help for that. You don't really know who he's asking, but he holds out one of his hands.
Is this what I'm thinking it is, Ari?
It might be.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
So he's holding out his hand for, like, someone to take it,
Yes.
essentially? And I will take his hand.
Okay. Otto, before you even have the chance to really walk over to him, you immediately see that both of them have just disappeared. They've left you, unfortunately.
Damn! Not what I
Looks around.
consented to.
I was like looking around like, okay, I guess. Take the person who doesn't look like they're in the best condition. Sure, that works. At least heal them first.
I didn't think about this.
But Virtue, from your standpoint, Virtue, from your standpoint, what you see, Creed doesn't look at you, but you take his hand anyway. This is the first time that you've really touched Creed, Other than you touched the lion's face, well, what was left of him back in Drahadux. But this Creed doesn't really feel that much better. His skin is ice cold. His hand feels like it's only skin and bone. He holds tight onto your hand, well, as tight as he can, seeing as it's alarmingly weak of a hold. And he pulls you forward and takes a single step. And you see the whole environment around you shift as if you're walking at the speed of light towards a Capitol building. 1 second you see Otto, the next, God help him, can't see really much anything as you're just darting right towards the gates. Everything quickly shifts back into reality as you see yourself standing right outside of a Capitol building. Creed hunches over and grasps onto his chest, letting out a small wince of pain, but he stands back tall. The guards don't really notice you're even there at first, but with a little bit of a delayed reaction, they're all quickly drawn to your attention and draw out their weapons and point the cannons towards you. There are tens of them covering the gate. 5 on one side of the door, 7 on the other, 15 on top, 4 peeing out of each wall, can't really tell. Even more that you can hear but not see. What are you doing here? No one is permitted to be outside at this time. Go back to your homes immediately. The wind around you hollows stronger, and you hear a bit of thunder in the distance. Where is the queen? You can feel the tension rising as Creed asks that. That is a completely unjust question to be asking at this time. Creed asks again. Where is the queen? And answer correctly this time. I hate repeating myself. The guards look quite offended and angry at what he said. Excuse me, sir. If you don't leave, we will have to use force. As the tension builds, the wind rises even more. Virtue, you see a small little piece of ash cross your face and catch your attention. You look at the source of that piece of ash and see a building in the distance slowly turning into that same black ash that Creed's bandana and the ground has started to turn into. It seems Creed has noticed this as well, as he becomes less patient. He lets go of your hand and starts making shapes out of his hand, discreetly enough to where the guards don't notice. There are things much stronger than you in this world. I do not have the time, patience, or energy to deal with vermin on this continent such as yourself. If you spare your lives, then point me in the direction and go on with your miserable lives. That line was the breaking point for these guards, as they immediately start to shoot cannons, arrows, lunge, attack both of you. But you don't really have to worry for that long, as Creed shakes his head and says, I don't have time for this. He bunches his hands close together, and you see sparks of energy fly, and within a few seconds, not long enough for a cannon to even strike you, you feel everything start to slow. Other than you and Creed, the people start to slow to a stop, and even the flying projectiles freeze midair. Everything is paused. The crackling energy fades, and Creed falls onto his knees, trying to stabilize himself. You can see his skin through the relaxed robe covering his body. You could see just how pale and white it is becoming. Outlines of bone showing through his skin. You can also see scars begin to show on his body as well. Unusual ones. They aren't scars that you get from the normal swipe of a sword. They look like symbols burnt into his skin enough to scar. His entire body is covered other than his head. No part is left untouched. There are symbols connected to spirits in some way. There's the Shearblade symbol burnt over 10 times, ghost runes covering his body, but you also see another alarming ones, like the symbol of a noose, skulls, and most notably, a massive witchblade symbol burnt from shoulder to shoulder on his back. Creed has definitely had a very long life up until this point, but you're just now realizing this now. But back to what's happening around you outside of your thoughts. Creed attempts to stand and falls for the first time, but manages to get back onto his feet the second attempt. He still doesn't look at you, demanding, let's get a move on. I don't have time to deal with this. As he starts walking forward, opening the gate to the Capitol, and walking through, not waiting for you.
I will follow.
You walk through Sorry, you were going to say something.
I was gonna say, can I use a little cure wounds on myself?
Oh, yes, of
Just
course.
in case I get smacked. Okay.
Well, so you're not at what, 20 hit points?
I'm gonna use a 4th level one because I am in.
Pain.
Yeah. Let me just roll these. Okay, I got 24 back.
Ha, 45.
I got 45. You know what? At least that's better.
Better than a one-hit combo, you know?
Yeah.
And you can
Okay.
pause me at any time because I will just keep going if... Don't be
Okay.
afraid to interrupt me. I won't take offense to it too much. No, it's
Okay.
okay. You walk, picking up the pace to get to him as he started to leave, but you notice that you don't really have to go far, and you even have to slow your pace to match with Creed, as he is walking very slowly. He isn't stumbling, he has that determination in him to keep a move on, but it seems like there's a lot of thought put behind every single step. You walk through the door. Still, he doesn't look at you. How much do you know of the resets, Virtue?
Not as much as I'd like to. I know that if too many of the creatures die, the Bakuzos, that everything would begin to turn to ash, as I see a lot of things are.
Correct.
Also that it happened a couple times, and this is the last one. That's why we're trying to stop it.
You are correct with all of this. He keeps talking as you're walking through the garden at this point. You feel, because the time is slowed, you have a bit more time to sort of sit and digest everything that's going on. Each reset begins with a catalyst, the dry hay that fuels the fire. Each of the leaders and the creatures, they are that fuel. If one leader dies, and they can't get the creature under control, the reset will begin. It begins very slow. The sky's gray, winds pick up, but it grows rapidly. Buildings begin to turn into ash. The creatures become more animalistic, not listening to their own leader's orders. They will kill the other leaders, kill each other, kill everything. As each of the creatures die, humanity does as well. Plant life dies, the weather becomes uncontrollable, the ground begins to unearth, making it impossible for anyone to walk around. Everything is so loud. They are all so loud. Their screams of terror, cries, and plead to the guardians for help and aid, not knowing that these were the same beings that are the reason behind their deaths. And yet they all end up in the same afterlife, limbo, or worse. I should know. I was the cause of one. He keeps walking, entering the Capitol building. Do you follow?
Yes.
You follow him, and both of you start to look through the Capitol building room by room, making sure to thoroughly check every single one of them. Everyone and everything is completely frozen in time. Seeing everyone completely unable to move starts to make you question how truly powerful Creed really is. You knew he was strong, but strong enough to stop time for this long and for everything around you? Creed continues to talk. You don't know if he's talking more to himself or to you, because he still refuses to look at you in the eyes, even though you can't really see his face. You get the point. But you still listen to his worries and his stories. You must have heard this story. The fated tide caused the critical reset, forever changing Holter. But they are only getting one half of the story. Creed pauses for a second, turning his head towards you slightly, but continues to move forward. We were all strangers a year before it happened. Just an elf, satyr, dragon, orc, and changeling. We all met in the festival and tried to stay together. We loved being around each other. We made each other happy. We saved each other's lives. I helped them with family issues, helped them become better people, and they helped me. But we never realized that all of this was just part of their plot. The story that they had come up with for their entertainment. We were told that Quinn Lockwood was hell incarnate. He was there to punish the world and start the reset. Funny how things twisted. We helped the creator trick Quinn into getting trapped in the interdimension. We used his own brother against him. The changeling in our group, Festus, she shifted into Quasi to trick humanity. The humanity that Quinn tried to bury deep in its chest. I sat on and watched, but when I saw the look on Quinn's face, ever so hollow that it is, I realized the truth. We'd been tricked. After a fierce attack against the creator, Quinn damaging her more than she had ever been hurt before, I tried to help, more forced to help, but I still did as much as I could, but it was all useless. The Guardians trapped Quinn away and killed the rest of us in the reset. They couldn't have done the reset before this. Quinn was too powerful of a creature ruling over the world for the Guardians to cause a reset to happen. But after he was gone, we all were too. Festus was the only one to remain. Being the sole reason the critical reset could happen, she got to live. And the rest of us were trapped in Drahadax. I had the worst punishment because of helping Quinn all the way to the end, even against my own will. Creed slows to a full stop, actually turning around to face you fully. He lets the silence sit for a moment, but he breaks it, saying, "The only reason I am taking the time to say all of this to you, Virtue, is because we are one in the same. When I saw your group, I knew exactly what the Guardians were doing. A satyr, a dragon, and an elf." And he points to himself. Just like we were. We are playing the same character, Virtue. But I feel something different with you. I made decisions that I am not proud of. I was tricked by many powerful beings. The Guardians, the gods, Lockwood. I was just a pawn to all of them. And look at where it has gotten me. Look at where it has gotten any of us. Dead, forgotten, or... Creed stretches out his arms as much as he can without wincing in pain, showing off all of the branding markings that he has all over his body. But there is something different about you. We both have scars from our past, things we can't take away. You see him stretch out a hand to your face, not touching your cheeks, but gesturing towards your face. But Virtue, you are healing. You have that will inside of you. You see the chance to avoid that life, and by the spirits, you are trying your damnedest to. And even through everything thrown your way, you aren't afraid. Creed sits and thinks for a second, hesitating, debating as to what he should do next. Virtue, may I offer you something? You may say no to my offer. However, if you do, I will be forced to erase your memory of everything you have seen or heard from me, for my safety and the safety of this world.
What would that be?
Creed doesn't say anything, but he slowly tilts his head down, and his hands reach for behind his head, and he gently unties the spare piece of robe tied around his eyes. You're frozen in shock and fear and confusion as to what it could be. You think, what does he look like? He's showing his eyes? Are they normal eyes? Probably not. Why would he be covering them if they were? He said it was part of his training as a spirit guardian or whatever his role was. Was he lying about that? Has he actually been able to see this whole time? Your brain even jumps to thoughts of, am I going to die looking at him? Creed's face is fully towards the ground as he undoes the bandana covering his eyes and slowly lifts his head to fully face you. Staring at you is Creed's true appearance, not hidden behind a bandana. His face, his eyes, are just as scarred as the rest of his body. The left half of his face looks to be completely decayed. A massive burn mark trails the left half of his face, burned down to the bone, with the skull even being able to be seen amongst the little amount of skin that he has left on that side of his face. His left eye is unlike any normal eye that you've seen. What would be the whites of the eyes are a deep blue color. The center of the eye is a dusty white, and in sort of the normal black irises in the middle, the entire eye looks like it has been shattered like glass. With the eye shape into shards of glass all centered around the iris, which is nothing but a little black hole. The right side of his face, well, there are no scars on his body, that is. His right eye looks completely normal. In fact, you can compare it to your own to almost a perfect match. The color, the size, it's one and the same, other than a noticeable hollowness to it. It's aged, withered, cloudy, lost, as if he has lost the spark that every person should have in their eyes. But looking at him even as a whole, your image of Creed changes. You once knew him as this stoic being, unfazed by anything and everything that crosses by him. Without the eyes, you believe that he couldn't even have shown the emotions that show fear or loss, but looking at him now, he is weak, barely able to stand. His whole body is covered in scars, not made by strength or determination to keep fighting, but scars made by others controlling him, marking him as property. Property to the spirits, to the guardians, to the witchblades, property to Quinn Lockwood. His remaining eye is filled with loss, failure, sorrow, and his other one, broken. You can't help but feel sad and pity for a man that you've barely known for more than 2 weeks. But something about seeing him like this, and everything that he's told you already, you feel connected to him more than a normal person would, but you can't really pinpoint why. Forgive me, for I must tell you another story for this to make sense to you. When Quinn fought back against the Creator, I fought with him. Not by choice, but I still fought. Creed places one of his hands on the scar of the skin burnt down to the bone. Quinn, he made a devastating blow. I remember it vividly. Back then, he wasn't as docile as he is now. He would never harm any of you now, but back then, we were just as much pawns to him as we were to the Guardians. All of the creatures were attacking him. Quinn's power grew triple. He easily brushed off all of the leaders and Bakuzos trying to attack him, and he turned directly towards the Creator. Do you think it would be that easy to destroy me? He questioned her. You created Quinn. You trapped him with Lockwood. You made your executioner out of the same creature that you deemed useless in your eyes. As long as I am alive, your plans will fail. You caused me to look like this, and you deserve the same fate. I remember his words vividly. I remember his actions vividly, too. He launched into the air, and the Creator attempted to vaporize him within an instant. I was standing right behind her, forced to be there from Quinn, preparing for a counter-attack when Quinn was vaporized, but little did I know. At the last second, Quinn switched places with me, forcing me to stomach the blow that was meant for him. It's a miracle that I'm even standing here after what she did to me. Quinn took my place and attacked her while she was down and distracted. The Creator lost both of her eyes that day. And this, he points to the shattered eye in his left socket, this is one of them. Creed squeezes his hand into his left eye socket and pulls out the shattered eye from his socket, leaving behind nothing but a hollowed eye with nothing but a black void behind it. Very similar to someone else that you know. He holds it in his hand towards you. This eye symbolizes everything that I have been betrayed by. Every person that forced my hand, using me for everything I had, then tossed me aside once I wasn't useful to them anymore. I hid my eyes away from the world. If I couldn't see them, no one could use me. They couldn't see what the world did to me, and I couldn't see the aftermath of my failures. But when I look at what you have become, my Tefla, I get that small glimpse of faith that I used to have in my youth. Creed curls his hand over the eye, holding it into a fist. He takes your hand and puts it on top of his. This object holds the key to the truth of what's really in store for this world. You may not be able to use it now, but it is the most important item that you will ever hold in your lifetime. Of course, it comes with a price. The Creator will know. My bandana was a protective sealant, hiding the location of the eye away from the Creator. When she finds out you have it, you'll have a target on your back. But I promise, I will put whatever is left of my life on the line for your safety. Do you accept this object from me?
Damn, that's a lot. Hold on. I need to load. I need to load.
Take it.
There's like a blue screen in front of Virtue
Okay,
right
I
now.
am gonna take it, but hold on, let me load.
Unlimited power.
let me have like a buffering for a second.
You just see a blue screen that says Virtue stopped working, and it says just give it a sec.
If you
Slowly
need, I could give you a
buffering.
TLDR for you. I told you I yap. I yap.
Damn, no, it's like when,
This was a very
when I got it, and like when finally it came to like what it was, I was like, whoa. My mind's like blown.
Let's hear the response.
I accept it. Okay.
Creed opens his hand, allowing the eye to slowly move into yours. After it has been fully moved into your hand, he holds both of your hands in his, letting you close your hand around the eye. Creed looks into your eyes, and you look into his. You hold the world in your hands now, Virtue. The gods are powerful, with magic, strength, years, but you have something else. You have your power through pure will. and I trust that you can harness it to save this world. He gives you a very weak but genuine smile, and you feel a sort of spark inside of you from your heart. Not romantic love by any sense or anything like that, but something in your heart keeps your eyes looking at him, even as he turns away to start stumbling back through the Capitol building. He puts the spare piece of fabric back around his face as if it's uncomfortable for him to not have it after all those years. And something inside of you, you just want to protect him, you know? More than you really ever wanted to protect anyone else before, and you don't really know why.
Stray cat.
Yes, he is your pet now. No, it's a joke. What do you want to do?
I will follow next to him. What the fuck do I do with that? It's in my hands. What do I do with it?
Most powerful object you'll ever hold in your life. Don't forget what he said.
Eat it.
No.
Yeah, if you eat it, no one can ever take it from you.
Consume its power.
It's not a tadpole. Sorry to say.
I good.
Gouge out your own eye and replace it with that one.
Not gonna lie, when he said the price, I thought he was gonna basically say it has to replace one of your eyes. Like, fuck.
You have to
I thought that
gouge
was
out
where
your
this was
own
going.
eye and give it to
I'm gonna
me.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought that was kind of where this was going, and I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, this isn't gonna go well, is it? Virtue's gonna go back with like a different eye, be like, Virtue, what happened? What happened to your face? Oh, you didn't know I always had heterochromia. Just amazing, right? I was just wearing another eye contact, you know.
Yeah,
You never
my
know.
actual eye is fucking shattered on the inside.
I think I'll just keep holding it for now.
Just in your
As a-
hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's meant.
Both hands.
Yes, it's very precious. If it
You
falls to the
must
ground,
not-
8 babies die. 8 baby kittens die. Okay. It's like a spirit stick. You can't touch the ground. But anyway, moving back to the very intense dialogue that I'm spewing out of my yapper. Sorry, I've been saying that a lot. I need to stop. You pick up the pace to meet Creed. At this point, you've fully cleared out the first floor of the Capitol building, and it doesn't really look like it was really affected. This floor looks completely fine, in fact. There are a few scared officers, but no destruction. But the same cannot be said for the second floor. You walk up the grand staircase in the middle of the Capitol to find complete mayhem. The roof is completely torn open, the walls are crushed and burned. There are bodies covering the floor, people crushed by an attack obviously not meant for them. They just got in the crossfire. You can't even tell what floor was really meant for what. You recognize the hallway that led into the massive vault of items, remember from the very beginning how time changes, but everything else is completely unrecognizable. Once both of you reach the second floor, Creed immediately stops in his track and darts off into a direction, and you hear him mumbling under his breath, "No, it's not true. It wasn't supposed to happen like this." You see him running through a hallway and onto a balcony, or what's left of it. You also see him fall to the ground, his failing strength getting to the better of him. What do you do?
I will go up to the balcony as well. Can I try to help him up?
Yes. You see him staring down at the ground, and you don't realize at first because you were more worried about the very weak Creed falling to the ground, but after you have him up against your shoulder, against your body, keeping him up straight, you see someone laying on the ground next to where he fell. And your fears turn into something different, dread, as you see Luna Zakimi lying on the ground, dead. Creed immediately puts his hand on her chest, trying to revivify her in any way that his soul has left in him, not doing CPR, but you see him trying his hardest. But as he touches her and attempts to do anything, you see his skin start to burn as he is unable to do much. He leans back against you to stay upright. They sealed her soul. I can't reach it. This was a trap. How did I not see it? It makes sense now. You see him sort of start thinking out loud and even like holding onto your shoulders, like shaking you as if it was so obvious. He's sort of upset. Jinx and Wolfsbane weren't preparing an attack. They were waiting to take control of him until the Guardians got here. That makes Rockcrusher responsible for the Queen's death, and they're seen as heroes for protecting another leader's life. Gods, I hate politics. But if she is here, dead, then I can't, none of us, by the spirits. Creed looks to you. The bandana's back on, but you can see through it. You can see true fear on his face. The reset has already started, and we can't stop it. But on that note, let's move over to someone that has met some familiar fate. God rest his soul, Rockcrusher.
Yep, nope, sorry, I'm dead.
Hold on. I need to parch my thirst. Rockcrusher, you have just seen Quasi form in this sort of afterlife of sorts. He looks a lot more stoic than he usually is, a lot more lifeless, but you can tell that it's him. As I'll just repeat, walk with me, Irax, he says as he starts gliding through this open void. What do you do?
If I walk with you, is this like a sort of go towards the light thing?
Just a simple talk. You're
Okay.
not dead. Not yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll walk with him. So, this is... So I'm not dead, this is sort of like the in-between then, I guess, right?
Sort of.
It's very bland.
It is. But don't worry, it's not your final resting place. You see, you became a dragon, returned to Zatharax, and murdered the queen. Your friends, with the help of Creed and Elise, were able to defeat you, but not without a loss. You started the reset, Irax.
Yeah. Darn. We knew it was going to happen at some point, really, whether I started it by me killing a guardian or... It was going to happen, you know? Which one? Which one did I kill?
You killed Luna, the queen.
Ah, shit. Oh, no, she was cool. Damn. Like, dead.
Gone. The Guardians seal away their souls so they can't be revived by any form of magic that a mortal can have.
Okay, so... What's that mean for us now? And the world starts to end, right?
Well, yes, but because of the life that you ended up living as a cursed individual, the curse has stuck you here. You were supposed to be transported into the cave of the cursed dragon, live an afterlife with Warthrock. How wonderful that would be. But as you can obviously see, we have something else in store for you if you're up to it.
Elaborate.
May I tell you a story, Irax? We have all the time in the universe, after all.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like you said, time's not really a problem, is it?
Precisely. The void around you begins to stabilize and morph into an environment, into Zatharax, but not the one that you know, a very, very old one. The people are dressed differently, even speaking different dialect of Common and Draconic that you sort of struggle to understand. This Zatharax, is just a bunch of small homes, nothing massive, very livable. There are even some inventions that you've only seen the Mountain Blades have. You can guess that they used to be combined of a sorts before the Mountain Blades separated. This is Zatharax, not yours, but the city still stands. The year is 13,050 BCR, before critical reset. Zatharax was known as a city of inventions. Inventions such as short swords, shields, armor, and even some modern items. They weren't the strongest tribe, or even the most liked, but it was enough for them to get by. And the city was run by a kind empress. From behind Quasi, you see the first empress of Zatharax walk by you, phasing through you as if you're not even there. You see her interacting with the townsfolk, praising them for their ideas and chatting about life. There aren't any guards stationed around, and the city looks very peaceful. Everyone praised her for her beauty, her prowess, talent, the ability to lead, especially as a woman. But what the people didn't know, he gestures to the environment around you as the image around you shifts into the Empress's chamber back, remember, when you were with Sisu and saw her, going a bit crazy. The Empress is staring at herself in the mirror. Behind closed doors, she was miserable. She was born shortly after the 11th reset, and she saw firsthand how the balance of the world was changing. The Witchblades, the most powerful tribe, were gone, and Zatharax was trying to force her to take charge against the other tribes, to take claim of the spot as the new, strongest tribe. But she knew that every other tribe was thinking the exact same thing. So after some guidance, she sought out the cave of the cursed dragon. The environment changes again, into a small cave with a ritual circle in the middle of it. It wasn't the massive Curse of the Dragon cave that you know now, just a really small cave with a glowing circle in it. Despite the warning of her lover, she entered the cave in promise of power strong enough to claim power over all of Hota that the Ironblades never had the chance to get. How things can change from one very vital mistake. You see everything shift into a montage of different moments. Moments of the Empress arguing with other advisors, arguing with Quasi, even getting violent. She started thrashing out, destroying her room, becoming even more animalistic, and over time also becoming more red. The exact same shade as you. Everything focuses back on to the Empress signing a piece of paper. She went mad with the power that was controlling her. She signed an act of war against nature, against the Torchblades, specifically against the dragons. As she signed the Dragon Extermination Act of 4652 BCR. Every dragon was found and swiftly taken care of. The dragons threatened the Ironblades. They couldn't be left alive. You saw the consequences for that firsthand, didn't you? The world just to the image of the Empress that you saw going crazy and turning into a massive dragon, beginning to destroy everything. It's a repeat of time. You've seen it before. The curse took control of her, forced her to attack her people, The people of Zathrax had zero clue that it was the Empress. They just saw a dragon and acted on the code. It was given to them by the Empress, after all. But in fact, they were attacking the Empress. The environment around you shifts into the image of a massive black dragon, similar to the size that you were when you were one, lying on the ground with the people of Zathrax celebrating on the extinction of the dragons. But that wasn't the end for the Empress. She was given a second chance by a god. It saw what she was capable of and gave her the chance to prove that she was more than what Demis and Jinx forced upon her. Yes, she was reborn much weaker than her Empress counterpart, but look at her now. The space around you shifts for one final time, showing an image as you, as a child, playing tag with Sizu. Sizuzaki Orion, the first Empress, was given a second chance to right the wrongs of her past. And now, I'm offering you that same chance. The void returns around you, the gray environment, as he keeps walking through this open and empty space. That was the story.
Yeah. Yeah, that covers it pretty well. So, now what?
Now, I am offering you that same second chance.
Do you want something in exchange? This is like where I do like the Otto thing and sell my soul.
Oh, no. I am not my brother, or whatever Quinlockwood is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I understand your suspicions, but I am not asking for anything. You simply being back alive would be enough for me.
I'm flattered, thank you.
Of course. But unfortunately, we can't really do much at the moment, seeing as we need your friends to get a move on.
Haste was never really one of their strong suits.
Hmm.
But, hey, I'm dead, what do I care? I'm chilling.
Precisely.
But yes, I will accept, I will return to life, thank you. That is pretty cool.
Not many people get to do that, you know.
I know, right?
But let's see where
It's pretty
your
cool of me.
friends are at on their journey.
Question.
Of course.
Could we sort of like wait? Could you like choose exactly when I go back?
Time works very strangely. It depends on when they open the chance for you to come back.
Okay.
What, do you want to wait until after the reset is over?
No, I was thinking more like, wait until they think they failed, or for everyone to sort of get a bit sad about it, and then just, dramatic timing.
Oh, don't worry. We have plenty of time to deal with that.
Okay, cool.
But let's
this
move
is so
over
cool.
to Otto. Being left behind.
I generally thought it was just gonna be with these two. I was like, damn, I don't even gotta be here at this point.
Otto,
Yeah.
out of everything that the other party members have learned through this very short, hour, 45 minutes, you actually haven't really been doing much. Sisu said
Kinda
that
figured.
she needed your help, felt bad seeing you all alone. So she has you keeping watch to make sure no one is staring around you and watching Rockcrusher's dead body. And it leaves you, Daichi, and Elise alone with nothing but your thoughts, really. Is there anything that you'd like to do?
Generally, I can't think of anything besides really awkward talk between them. Which is weird.
Hey man, what's the harm in that?
That's fair, but I'm curious, how is Daichi looking? Because I remember, how Daichi looked when we kind of first saw them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Daichi still is missing some parts of her body. It's kind
Okay.
of weird because it sort of just looks like there are holes in her. There's no like blood, it's just all around her. But you see over like the short time that you've been sitting and waiting with her that she hasn't lost any new parts of her. So you don't know if it's delayed, if it's temporarily paused, but she hasn't lost any more of her body. But
That's
she
a win,
looks
I guess.
very, very sad as she's sort of just sitting in a ball right next to Rockcrusher, holding his hand even though he can't hold it back.
I was kind of watching Daichi, and I'm gonna kind of like sit by them and be like, Rockcrusher is kind of stubborn. He'll definitely come back. Extremely stubborn.
I knew he would save me. I just didn't think that we'd be trading places like this. If I knew this was the outcome, I would have never even tried to find you and draw her ducks.
I don't think anyone knew this could be the outcome, but think of it this way.
Is this how
We're,
he felt when I died?
I'm gonna be honest. He was kind of scary when you died. He was not. He was very quiet to himself. He wasn't happy. He he had a lot of regret.
Hmm.
He cared for you. I think I'm gonna be honest with you, Daichi. He'd probably throw the party to the wolves if it meant for you to be saved.
I guess I can finally. Never mind. I just hope he comes back soon.
He's stubborn. He will. Knowing this man hates dying. I don't think this will keep him from dying. If he died from magic users, he's definitely coming back. If he's not dying fist to fist, mano to mano, he's not staying down.
It's just
I'm pretty
hard
sure
to
this
say
hurt.
that when he looks like this.
How many times have we seen him go unconscious and just kind of eh? I think I think he'll come back.
But he's
This
not
man has dropped
unconscious.
unconscious.
He's dead.
I mean, he could still come back with how much shit that's been going on. There are chances.
You
At
can
this point,
smell that Rockcrusher is currently very dead because he's shit his pants.
Of course.
God, I don't need to know
Very
this.
much dead. It's very
Actually,
undignified. Like there's blood everywhere. It stinks of shit. Like
and plus, I'm
it's a
sure we have a
horrible sight.
I'm sure we have a plan. We are planning to, get this all sorted. There's probably a good chance we can get him back.
Elise walks over and puts one of her robotic arms on Daichi's shoulder. Konkasia is too strong to go out like this. Especially if we were the ones to take him out. He'd rather kill himself than have us be the reason that he's gone forever.
For real. If someone like me took him out, which I mean, he'd be pissed. He is not staying out.
Hmm.
I'm scared he's gonna come back and say round two, motherfucker.
I am as well, but we have to hope that he comes back a different person and doesn't transform back into a dragon.
Yeah, but knowing Rock, he's better than that.
I mean, how did he end up in this state anyway? I thought you went through the portal that I did and ended up here.
Funny enough, we thought so too, but we ended up in hell. And after he decided to fire an arrow at the eye, it kind of went downhill from there.
Hmm. There's probably a reason you ended up in hell, but what do I know? I'm not a philosopher.
Oh no, I feel like almost any of us could have a reason to go to hell. I'm pretty sure we've done some questionable things in our lives.
Yes. I wonder how different it is compared to here. I mean, I understand how weird Kane can be, but it is nothing compared to this. It doesn't even really seem fun to live on this disgusting continent. Is it always packed with strange and tense conflict?
No, it actually, at least depending on where you live, it's normally really nice, peaceful. It's just these past few months have been really insane. Where I used to live, it was very peaceful, mainly druids, farmers, lots of gorgeous plant life.
Hmm.
Those were the days. But I'm here now, and I don't I don't regret my choices.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't feel right with myself if I didn't say this. I'm sorry for any harm that I caused your group. My organization was made to bring balance back to Cairn. I didn't realize it was throwing yours off at the same time. I mean, my people were literally killing themselves to weaken Concorsia, but I'm truly sorry for any pain that I have caused you.
It's I'm thankful for the apology. It's not something you knew, so I don't hold any ill will. Hmm.
Is there anything
I'm
else you'd like to
sure.
do?
Not that I can think of. I don't think we need to do anything unless we want to move Rock to that one area, but I think we're just keeping Rock here. So I can't think of anything. Unless given further instructions by anyone else, we're probably just gonna stay here until
My
Virtue
god.
returns.
No. Okie smoky. Let's move back over to Virtue.
Yay!
Creed has managed to get the strength to stand upright on his own. Good for him. Congrats. Give a round of applause, sort of deal.
I'm clapping, you can't hear it.
I can feel it in my soul. Get her corpse. We have a lot less time to reverse this than I thought.
Virtue will pick up her. I guess I will carefully put the eye in the most safe place I can manage in my Mary Poppins bag.
Right? Understood?
And I will pick up her body. What are we doing?
I don't know. He says as he stretches out a hand again to you, waiting for you to take it.
Take his hand and his eye. God.
Okay.
The lottery!
His hand.
Just take his legs as well. God.
No. We'll take his hand.
You.
Wow. Okay.
Please, you have something else to say.
Oh no.
Okay. Excuse me. You hear a small cry of pain as you see the world begin to move around you again. But he quickly teleports both of you away before anyone can find or see you. Doesn't seem like he was enjoying the process, though. Otto, you see a hint of light blue light flash very quickly before seeing Creed and Virtue appear. Creed falling onto his knees yet again, and Virtue sitting next to him with the body of the Queen of Holta in their arms.
Oh
Sisu
shit.
turns around immediately and runs to both of them, and Elise does the same, helping Creed get back onto his feet. By the gods, what happened? Creed doesn't really have the stomach to speak. Virtue, do you say anything?
Well, as you see, she's too far gone. They're holding her soul. She can't be brought back. And the reset has begun. And we
What?
don't know.
God's fucking damn it.
Wait, didn't we have like a year before the reset was to start?
Well, it seems like something catastrophic enough happened to set it off. This was the
Ah,
plan the whole time.
okay.
Jinx and
Uh,
Wolfsbane brought this all together.
you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I
Okay.
knew I should have thought that they were as dumb as they are. They had a plan, god damn it.
So what do we do? That kind of threw the whole. We had a few months before the reset start. What happened? What do we do?
From what Creed said, it seems like there is possibly a way to reverse it, but he doesn't quite know.
Well, we need to start by getting her out of here. There's no telling the
Yeah.
chaos if anyone saw that she was dead. Caesar starts to
We
look
all need.
around.
We all kind of need to get the fuck out of here.
Ah, I got it. You see Sizu's eyes get stuck on one of the walls of Zathrax. Come with me, quickly, Virtue. As you see Sizu start sprinting towards this wall.
I guess I will follow with deceased Luna.
God rest her
My
soul.
friend,
No.
not God rest her soul. Those guys are assholes.
My bad. Sizu sprints up to what you see a small crack in the wall, the crack shaped in a circle. She kicks in part of the rock and pulls it out as if it was placed there deliberately. When Rock and I were kids, very tiny, we would hide out in this hole when Getha got too angry. No one other than him and me knows where this is, and you see where he is now, so we're the only ones that know she's here. Put her in here. She'll hopefully be safe from any eyes.
Virtue will put her in the... What?
I promise it's a temporary gravestone. Hopefully we don't need to make an actual gravestone, but just to keep people from being able to see her.
Do you think it might be Jinx that is holding her so?
I don't know if Jinx would be strong enough for this. You know, Jinx is a dick. He started showing up halfway through my descent into madness. And he tricked me into doing a bunch of shit. But it seems that he's only strong with the people that he has control over. There's no way he'd be able to get control of someone this powerful that's so closely connected to the Guardians. He's a pussy after all.
Probably the Guardians.
Unfortunately,
So
which is a double fucked up situation. AC sees you cover up the hole with a piece of rock, making a seamless fit. Can't see it unless you're looking for it.
Oh, where do we even start?
Well, with what we just learned, it's even more important that we get a move on. We need to get this curse under control and see if we can help Rockcrusher as soon as we can.
Indeed.
She starts running back to the rest of the party.
I will follow suit.
And I will be right back. I need to go use the restroom.
Oh my god.
Damn, girl, you pissed like that?
Damn, imagine. I want to sidetrack for a minute. Didn't the whole thing for us to remove the curse, we had to do something with Jinx?
Yeah,
Didn't
I
we
think
kind of
we
have
need
to boot him?
Wait, hold on. I have it written down!
Yes, please. Well, first we need to fix the circle.
The
Fuck up
removal.
Jinx.
The removal. You need the Iron Blade Bakuzo. The person and the curse must be in a weak spot. Obviously, dead is pretty as weak as we can get. And the protector must be dead.
So we have
Jinx
to
has
kill him.
to step.
Okay, so kill Jinx. Rockcrusher's already dead, so that's weak enough. That's as weak as it's gonna get. We already have the Bakuzo we need. We need to fix the circle, because I don't know if that man's strong enough to fix it at this point. He's kind of stumbling. He's stumbling. I'm sure it's fine. We got this. We can solve it.
I'm sure it'll be fine, right? You know, I'm only dead.
We just gotta kill Jinx, who's kicked our ass how many times?
Sometimes
few.
these, I'm just looking through all of my notes, and some of these are fucking just completely pointless. Like, why did I write down? I wish
You
my
had to just
mother
write
went
down
into
everything.
limbo. I don't know why I wrote that down.
I don't know why. I was thinking for shits and giggles of Jinx becoming a thrall.
Huh.
That would have been
Ironic.
funny. Do you know how fucking... If I somehow could have done that, I would have been like, holy shit.
I have the whole
This fucking work.
Elemental Alliance written down. Torchblade
A
history.
classic. Another classic.
The Torchblade history. I'm in tribe. Our gifts.
Who's strong enough to... We're gonna have a fun time moving rock, aren't we?
The Gresh family. Whitlocks. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
So many
Banger
notes.
after
so many
banger.
notes.
What's going on here? Am I a good storyteller? What? Thank Lord. Okay.
So are you gonna start moving this man?
Okay. So you see Sizu and Virtue sprint back towards you both. And as they're running back, you see Sizu put two of her fingers in her mouth and whistle. And within seconds, you see Cinderburn crawling from literally nowhere and to stand by her side as it lays onto the ground. Sizu walks over to Rockcrusher, still lying on the ground, and starts picking him up by his shoulders, hoisting him somewhat into the air. You still don't see any breathing. You don't hear a heartbeat or see any signs of life, but you do see that his skin is fluctuating around. His scales are beginning to fade between his natural red color and a charcoal black color. There's something definitely happening from within him. You see Sizu look over towards Elise. You, help me get him here. Daichi. You, get on. She looks to Creed. We'll need your help with the ritual circle, then I desperately need you to find Quinn, because with one of the leaders dead, it's only a matter of time. She's stating very vaguely, but you see from Creed's head nod that he understands what she meant. Elise looks to you, Virtue, to take her place in helping Creed, as she needs to help move Rockcrusher. Because despite how little she is pretty mighty.
All right. I will help.
Finally, Sizu looks over to you two, Virtue and Otto. Come with us. I'll explain everything on the way, but we don't have much time. I know what Quasi's trying to do, and he needs our help with it.
All right.
Sizu rests its tail on the ground, making it easy for Elise and Sizu to get Rockcrusher back on top of Cinderburn, and making it easy for all of you to get on the back of this creature. What are you guys going to do?
I'm gonna stay dead.
Thank you. Just
Still
gotta...
I mean, we're on the creature. Obviously, I can't do anything. Besides help her.
I'm giving you the
Rockcrusher.
option to... I'm not going to say,
Give
you
us-
both get onto the back of the creature. I don't want to force you guys. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, she did say that he made it easier for us to get on to him. Listen, that's
It's like
mage.
walking up a
We
hill
go
because
we
of
go
its
the
tail.
hard way. We decided to scale it instead.
Scale up the
Oh.
creature.
All right, but I guess get on
I'll
to
just go up the
Cinderburn.
easy way.
Okay. So both of you step onto the back of Cinderburn. It's by your own choice. I was going to force you to. That'd be rude. Okay. This is the closest that you have ever been to a creature. On the back of one, especially being the most quote-unquote deadliest creature on Holta. I don't know where that trademark
Wait.
came from.
Haven't we all been like eaten by one?
Yeah, I'm gonna say closest is being swallowed by one.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? Closest without intimate death
Aggressive,
ahead of you.
aggressive
This is the
intent.
strongest we've
Yes.
written. We've written the cloud one.
The skin of this creature is very rough and it's very warm, and the spikes along its back make a very good anchor for you to navigate around its body. As soon as you find a comfortable spot anywhere on the creature, if you want to specify where you're sitting, go for it. Now's the time. Wonderful. Just sit on his back. See says, "Hold on tight. This is going to be a bumpy road." You hear, or more feel, Cinderburn standing up. Being this close to the creature makes you feel all the vibrations of its movements, even more than when it was far away. The creature begins by walking, but quickly picks up the pace as it dashes in a straight line towards one of the walls. It jumps into the air, and all of you catch some airtime for a few seconds or two. Thankfully, Elise and Daichi are keeping Rockcrusher stable on the back of the creature, so he's not moving around as much. Cinderburn dives headfirst into the ground next to one of the cave walls and starts digging. As fast as a machine, this creature digs deep into the underground and starts tunneling straight. As it digs, its front paws dig out the dirt, and then its back paws and tail take the dirt and packs it tight behind it, leaving no sign as to where it has been tunneling from. It's honestly pretty mesmerizing seeing how it's sort of just flawlessly moving through this rock and leaving no trace of it behind.
Damn.
But after Cinderburn starts moving in one direction, Sisu stops focusing more on making sure the creature's going in the right direction and turns around towards the rest of you. I believe I owe you all an explanation on a few things.
Don't say.
I feel like Virtue's like looking at the rest of them.
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting for this explanation, honestly.
Well, I am Sisu, but in a different life, I was the first Empress, Sizuzaki Orion. I stuck with the name because all the records of my past and the people that were there are all gone and forgotten by now. I was tricked into getting the curse and promise of more power for the tribe, but it kept on getting worse. So Quasi helped me calm down. He balanced out all of the energy that was pulsing inside of me. That's why Daichi's amulet was so important. Quasi's magic weakened the curse. But after he left me, the curse triggered itself. I became a dragon, just as Rockcrusher did. But because of the Dragon Extermination Act that I passed, my people had no choice but to kill me. They didn't even know it was me. Ironic that I died by the rule that I made. Anyways, after my death, I didn't really die. The curse doesn't let you. I died back in, 4,487 BCR, I believe? And I was stuck in the Cursed Dragon Cave for about 600 years or so. Well, that was until 31 years ago. Quinn Lockwood found me and gave me a second chance. I played a game with him, gambling for my soul. Either I'd give him my soul for an eternity, or I was reincarnated. You can obviously guess what had happened. I didn't remember anything at first. I was just Sisu Ori, a normal girl born into Zathrax. But when I saw Irex coming out of that cave, killing people, he cut out one of my eyes, for God's sake. Everything just started to flash back. But that's enough about me. Rockcrusher isn't dead. Not yet, we could say. His body is dead, but his soul is very much still intact. He would be sent into the cave of the cursed dragon and live in a pool of water forever. But thankfully, Quasi has stopped that for a short time. So, we are going there to help him. Quasi is trying to help Rockcrusher come back, and he needs the ritual circle to do that. There are a bunch of issues, though, seeing as the circle has been cracked and Jinx is still alive. And that's what we need Creed's help for. After he fixes the circle and helps us, that is the hard part. To remove the curse, we need the person in a weakened state, check. The curse in a weak state, check. Part of the creature, we're fine with that because we have the whole thing. The hard part is Jinx. You hear Creed mumble under his breath. It always is. You can't see his eyes, but you can assume that they're rolling into the back of his head. With him still alive, we need a lot more energy to complete the ritual than we have. Quasi should be able to help a lot, but we need mortal energy for that as well. The will of people. People that truly want Rockcrusher to come back. And that's what we need you all for. Hooray!
The power of friendship.
Please, the power of friendship.
Oh, you hear faintly from the body. The power of friendship. Holy shit, is he alive? No, he's still dead. That's the aftermath of death.
The gas escaping from my body.
Yep.
It's so
Yeah,
rough.
those body twitches. The nerves.
The nerves are still spasming, you know.
Damn, even after 10 minutes, he's still spasming? Damn.
Sounds simple enough.
As simple as it can be.
Yup, the actual actions won't be.
It's as simple as that.
Due to the fact that our queen has died, it's only a matter of time before the worst happens. I do not know what Wolfsbane and Jinx are planning. Castius either, for the matter of fact. All of them disappearing as soon as the dragon starts attacking is too much of a coincidence for me to not investigate and try to find them. After I fix our portal and bring him back, I need to try to postpone the reset for as long as we possibly can. Both of you know that he's kind of talking shit because from the way that he looks, the way that he sounds, the way that he's moving, you don't even know if he has enough strength to repair the portal, let alone stop a reset. Of course.
Creed, I think what you need is rest.
A lot of it.
We do not have time for rest, Virtue, Otto.
Well, I'm gonna say this at the bottom of my heart. You look like shit.
And I'm have for thousands of years.
Yeah, but there's this thing called doing too much.
Called moisturizer. Okay. With SPF.
Like if you overextend yourself, you may not make it.
If I do not overexert myself, none of us will make it.
Kind of important. We don't really want you to do too much. Like, we can still help you in the best ways we can.
Then what
Just
do you
let us help
suggest?
whoever we can.
How are you going to help?
Any way we can. Whether you tell us what to do, and we'll try to do it.
You must give your life for Rockcrushers.
An eye for an eye, literally. Seeing as he already gave you one of his virtue.
Yeah.
You see him look towards you, his face looking towards you. Don't really know what his eyes are doing. Virtue, you know, would say singular eyes doing.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. We'll see how things changes once you get your friend back.
Thank you.
Now, I don't want you to think that I'm holding anything from you. If you ask me a question, I'll answer it, and I'll be wholly truthful. Sisu says to you as you're continuing to burrow closer towards the cave. You know it'll take a while, seeing as it took you guys a day's travel, but seeing as how fast you're going, you'll probably get there soon.
I'm looking at you, Ari.
I'm trying to think of questions. You gotta give me a moment, okay?
A moment. Hee.
You make yourself laugh, I can tell.
Feel like I had notes of questions that I had earlier. I would need to find them.
You see Elise raise her hand. I have a question if you do not mind. Sisu looks a little bit shocked, but still gestures for her to continue. What are we supposed to do when Rockcrusher comes back? I do not know much of your plan, but from what I understand, the death of a leader starts a effet papillon with no stopping. Even if we get him back, the world has already started to turn into stand, slipping through your fingers as we speak. Sisu thinks for a moment, trying to come up with the best answer. You hope that she can come up with another answer to Elise's worry. But unfortunately, the reset is something that she doesn't have a proper answer for. None of you really do. All she can say, the fake smile on her face, is, let's just get Rockcrusher back first. Doesn't seem like it's the answer that Elise wanted, or any of you wanted to hear. But Creed answers for Sisu. The will of a soul, of a mortal, is stronger than any kind of magic a guardian can conjure. As long as there's at least one soul, big or small, that wants to live, the rest of humanity will follow it. Creed is definitely speaking to Elise, answering her question, but his face is faced towards Virtue and Otto. It may just be by accident, because he can't see you through the bandana, but you remember that he knows where you are, so he's choosing to look at you and speaking, making you think that there's a chance that he is truly speaking to you. But then the conversation falls silent. Do any of you have questions? You can say no. I'm not forcing you. You have to have questions for me.
Oh my god.
Nah, how you like this is holding a gun. You gotta ask questions.
You have questions, right?
You gotta ask lore based questions.
Ask for the lore, and I'll give it. You have plenty of time.
No, we're good. We're good.
For now, I can't think of anything.
Not questions that I feel can be said outwardly.
Understood.
PM's Claire being like, I'm gonna whisper these to her, and I want her to whisper them back to me.
No, not to Sisu. I think Sisu already summed up her whole story for us.
Yeah.
She already doesn't know about the reset.
Ooh. You guys can't really come up with any answers, and thankfully, it seems as Cinderburn has slowed almost to a complete stop, reaching man-made stone among the rest of all the mountainous rock around you. The creature draws one final blow to stone brick in front of you, opening a hole into somewhere very familiar to you. You peek your head in over the Cinderburn's massive head blocking basically everything, and you peek into the hole of the cave of the cursed dragon. It looks
God, it feels like
very different than the last time that you were here. There are these weird red vines almost pulsing around the cave. They wrap around the staircase, in the floor, on the walls. Almost looks like the veins are sucking the life out of everything. They glow and move as if they're almost alive. The creature digs a hole big enough for its whole body to fit through, so you guys can easily get off if you wished, but it's up to you. What do you want to do?
Is anyone else getting off?
Yes, you see Sizu and Elise helping Rockcrusher off the back of this creature, gently moving him through the cave. And you also see Daichi use her wings to fly above the veins, not wanting to get too close.
Then I'll probably jump down to the clearest part that doesn't have any veins, and then try to help anyone else who's left to get down.
First, she will get off as well.
Okay. You see as Sizu and Elise are slowly moving Rockcrusher through this cave, trying to get him to the broken ritual circle. You see that some of these veins sort of things, are growing longer towards the three of them. They're not touching them yet, but you can tell that they are getting a bit too close for comfort. You see Creed as well, Virtue, push off of you a bit and start to move on his own, following those three down towards the ritual circle. What do you do?
Probably go after them and be like, with the vines, do we do anything about them? Do we just let them grow? Because they're getting a little close for comfort.
They should be fine as long as we don't directly interact with them. It isn't a death sentence if we touch them, but I'm not too sure why they're here right now. They're usually here when you're giving someone a curse, not trying to take it away. I think Jinx is getting desperate.
It looks like it. You think Jinx will show up?
Oh, I think he's watching us, all right.
Pain in the ass. Alright, well, I'm gonna start getting the candles out to, like, get ready while everyone else is doing their thing.
Mm-hmm. Virtue?
Because I remember I kind of took those.
While everyone is getting set up for this, I'm assuming, getting Rockcrusher's body in place, setting up candles, thinking, how am I gonna fix this circle? I wanted to take a little bit of more time to, inspect this precious item I was given. Is there... I feel as a might just be a little bit important.
A little bit. The eye of the creator of the world.
And I wanted to ask, just by examining it, what can I tell off of it? I'm assuming there's not exactly a way to use it, quote unquote, but is it just an eye of the creator that is going to be very, very important, or is there a way that I can actually, I guess, use it?
Make an Arcana check to see how much you can gauge.
That's a nice number. 21.
Okay. You take a bit of time and you pull out. Do you pull out the eye discreetly, or do you not care if people see it?
I would say discreetly.
Okay. You pull out this eye. Otto, what's your passive perception? Just so I know.
Good question. Go look. Nope. Here we go. My passive?
Mm-hmm.
It's an 11.
Okay. Otto has no clue. You're chill.
I'm kind of busy with the candles, trying to
Yeah.
make sure to put them in the right spot. I'm like memorizing. I'm like,
Micro
is this
adjusting
purple
them.
and gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm making sure they're like not an
Perfectionist.
inch off.
So you take a bit of time to look at this eye. You hold it very gently in your hands, and you see it's, just to re-describe it, I'll send a picture because it's better if you see a picture of it, but it just looks like shattered glass inside of it. It's very, very strange to look at. And looking at it, trying to inspect if there's anything magical about it, obviously there's the aspect of it literally being the eye of the creator, a really powerful guardian. You can tell that something about it, this eye can do a variety of different things. You feel as though it can be used almost as a key. It can be used to see if you really wanted to gouge out one of your eyes and look through the eye of the creator. You want to. You also think that you could possibly use it in some way. You can't really tell how because it's something more powerful than you've really studied, but maybe even being able to use it alongside something else to gain either knowledge or even strength and power. This eye is capable of a lot, but you just don't really have the technique or ability to understand or do anything with it, at least at this time.
Okay, so the eye is completely like, is it completely glass? Like, or is it like squishy, but it looks like there's glass in it?
Um,
Not that I'm
it's
squishing it, but just in general.
it feels almost completely like a glass eye. There's some flex to it, but it's not like a normal eye would of it being very squishy and very fragile. Obviously, it's fragile in a glass sense, but
So it's slightly see-through like glass.
yes, it's very
Alright, I know.
interesting. Because, I mean,
I know you said if I went to see, or I'm curious, would I be able to, without having to pick out an eye
I mean, you
out,
could try. You could
you
try.
know, just like it's a little um like a telescope, just like might as well see if that works.
What did I have you? Okay, no, I got it. Can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh God. That would be. My math isn't mathing right now. Wait.
It's okay, babe. You'll have those days.
That'd be a 27.
Okay. You see for a moment this eye almost like acting on its own, trying to like latch onto yours. And you see the vision in the eye that you're using to look out almost become very hazy with this like purple effect over it. And you can see through for the very few seconds that it's active before it tries to attach onto your eye, that you see that some of the vines on the ground are glowing and others are not. Through the eye, it's like everything is in the shade of purple, and some of the vines are glowing white and others are just staying purple, but you can't really see much else or much detail because it tries to attach itself onto your eye, so you have to like move it away for your safety, obviously. Almost like a reflex.
Interesting. Okay. I will put the eye, safely away, and then return to the group's, main vision.
The important part. Gotcha.
Yes.
No, it's very important, I promise. The eye of the creator, but it's okay. Anyways, Otto, you put the candles back. What order do you put them back? You don't have to say specific. You could say the order of the rainbow, of size, of whatever. You could
Hold up. I
say
was
any of
thinking, because I
that.
remember they were put into a. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to remember. You don't tell me exact details of, like, where candles went, but, like, can you tell me how they were placed earlier? Not in their, like, colors or shapes, but, like, was it a circle and one in the center? All circles?
Make a
Didn't you write
history
this down,
check.
Ari?
Yes. I
Didn't
heard
you write
Victoria.
this down?
Me?
I swear I remember you saying, I feel like the order's gonna be important, and you wrote it down.
If I wrote it down, it would have to be in our DMs.
Make a history check.
Give me a sec, give me a sec, give me a sec.
You make a history, I look.
Yeah. Okay, let me go see what my history is before I roll this.
Maybe I should
I think
check to
it's a
see if
1, though.
I'm doing this right as well.
History, okay. And, oh shit, I don't want to break that. Oh, okay, nat 20, and I have a +0, so it's just a flat natural 20.
Look at that. Hold on. Let me do my research to make sure I'm not fully spewing out bullshit.
Yeah, I'm also reading just in case. Okay, that was that.
Okay, I wasn't about to tell you the wrong information. With you have perfect remembrance of what these were. I will say you don't remember specifically all of the colors of them, but at least you do remember that all of them were sort of outlining the massive ritual circle, and the bottom of the thorned rose, so the very tip of the thorned rose, had the smallest candle, and then going clockwise, it became bigger and bigger.
Okay, so I remember, so it doesn't matter of color, but
Well,
more of the
it
size.
does
Oh,
matter of color, but you only remember
well,
the shape.
well, I'm assuming each candle is a different shape, and I remember
It is.
that each candle represents a group.
It does.
Okay. Before I decide to place everything down, I'm gonna kind of be like, is there a certain way this is supposed to go?
Are you
In
just
the sense
asking
of
the
if I
general
get
crowd?
one, yeah, like out loud, just so everyone knows. So if they know, I could get an answer, and I'll have to go to everybody.
The last time I was here, which was a very long time ago, they were placed in order of size. I'm pretty sure they all represent the different tribes in some way, of like order of strength in the tribe, or like hierarchy or some shit like that. I was never really into politics.
Okay, I asked because when we came here, the candles were busted, and I didn't really know what color went where.
Just follow the shape and I'm sure you'll be fine. And worst
All
case, I
right.
mean, Rockcrusher's not coming back, so.
We kind of need him to come back, so let's hope that it's just based on size. And I'm gonna start pulling out the candles, see what size is what, and then start putting them uh in their supposed spots from smallest to tallest. Yeah.
Largest.
largest, smallest. You get the
Okay.
idea.
I was going to be mean and have you just like even guess what each of the colors would go, but I won't I won't do that cuz
I don't even remember all the colors. You'd have to send me all that again. All I know is one of them's purple.
that is
I think there's a
correct. There is a purple one.
I think there's like a purple, I think a red.
You're
I
correct.
think I don't know. I'm not even gonna try and guess all of them. This isn't a
Gotcha.
guessing game. So just going in their order.
I'll
Apparently, Otto's
throw
colorblind.
you
Even
the
though we can't.
bone. It's fine.
Yay.
Let me get back to my spot. So you put the candles around the edges of the ritual circle in order from smallest to largest. You see
Mm.
Elise and Sisu put Rockcrusher down in the middle of the circle, even with it still broken. And you see Sisu kind of step back a little bit, kind of staying away from Creed as he steps up and sits next to the circle. And she kind of gestures towards all of you that it's probably smart to stay away as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely backing up, but I'm also gonna keep an eye on the vines if they make any motion to get closer, or if they seem for any reason like a threat.
Okay. Virtue, what are you doing?
I suppose I will also keep a distance, but I am concerned.
That's a fair emotion to be feeling.
I'm very concerned.
You see Creed slowly kneel down, sitting on his knees, and place a hand on the ground of the ritual circle. His face is covered in a bit of worry and a lot of tiredness. You don't see him breathe, but you've never seen him breathe. But if you could, you'd be assuming he'd be taking a deep breath, trying to relax himself as he starts to pulse his energy through the circle. The circle pulses with this energy as well, glowing under his touch. As this ritual circle begins to open up with energy, a wave of wind passes through, flowing through Kree's disheveled hair, my god, passing Elise and Sisu, Daichi, all the way through you as well. As it waves through the room, all of the vines around you seem to shift around. They change direction, going from just generally moving around anywhere that the ground was open to moving towards Creed in the ritual circle and Rockcrusher. Creed takes a deep breath, attempts to, and begins to recite an incantation that you've never heard of before, unlike anything that you've learned or even thought of in the past. As he works more and more, he leans over more and more, struggling to keep himself upright. And as he keeps going, the vines on the ground become a lot faster and a lot more violent of intention. It doesn't seem like Creed sees him coming at all. He is very caught up in his spell. But you don't know what the vines are going to do if they reach them. Him, per se. What do you do? It.
The thing.
Ah, yes. That. I am looking at a few things. Do. This is interesting because they probably are considered, plants, not creatures of any sort.
I mean, it did look like they were pulsating with life. More than a plant would. But you'd have to investigate more for that.
Can I investigate?
You don't have a lot of
Real quick?
time, but you can. Make a
Nat
nature
20. Wow.
Well, look at that. Wasting it.
Oh my god, I didn't expect that. Okay.
As you see these vines shift and immediately start to head their way towards Creed, you try to think about what you could possibly do to harm them. You look at these vines, these red vines that are almost transparent enough to where you could see blood moving through them. You can definitely tell pretty easily that these aren't normal vines. They're not even really plants. They kind of do just look like very, very large blood vessels pulsing in the ground that are sort of moving like tentacles around the room and now towards Creed. But it isn't much longer until they start to come in contact with him, and I don't know if you want that to happen.
Alright. I will move towards Creed. There is multiple of them, correct? Going towards him?
At the moment, there are 5 vines moving towards him from all different directions.
Okay. I will move closer to Creed and I will cast Spirit Guardians, which will make a 15-foot radius around would be myself and Creed. I can designate who doesn't get hurt from it, so no one of our group will get hurt by it. And as soon as they come within the 15 feet, they will take 4d8 radiant damage. Their movement will also be slowed. I think yeah, their movement will be halved when they enter it for the first time.
Okay. As Virtue casts this protection to all of you and to Creed in the Ritual Circle, can you all roll initiative?
Initiative.
I got another nat 20. What the fuck?
It's just a nat 20 day. apparently.
Virtue,
No.
Lord.
Stop using this right now.
What is this?
I don't need this right
What's my additive? It's a 1. I got a 19.
It'd be a 23 in total.
Okay. I have a few other fellows that need to do their turn as well.
I will quickly roll the damage for Spirit Guardians.
And just,
Preemptively.
I don't have a roll 20 for this, but just to give you sort of a spacing wise, the Ritual Circle is 10 feet in diameter. And so Creed is on one side of the 10 feet of space.
Okay. I know I said I approached him. I would say how, just based off of some common sense. How close would you say would be too close to Creed? Or what he's doing right now?
It doesn't honestly really look like he is doing much. Like, as long as you're not touching him. Like, you'd be afraid of what might happen to you if you actively touch him. But after that sort of wave of energy that passed by all of you that ignited these vines to life, you don't really know if you need to be as worried anymore.
Okay. Also, I was a little confused about you said within the 10 feet of space. So is he 5 feet away from me and therefore has 10 feet away from him before something could touch him? Or is he 10 feet away from me?
I mean, depends on
Yes,
how
that's
close
5 foot.
you want to be to him.
Probably
But-
within 5 feet.
Okay, because the vines are coming from every direction, so 3 of them are 10 feet away, but the other 2 are in combat distance within 5 feet.
Okay.
But Virtue, your turn is first, so.
All right.
And with your spirit guardians, you can hit all of them. By the way.
Okay, whenever they first appear or start, they're going to take 27. It's for every single. I have to roll this for every single one, right?
If you want
Or
to,
just want
you could
to
just do
do a
one.
general damage of 27.
Yeah, we could just do
They
general.
also will have to make a wisdom saving throw.
We'll see how well they can do that. Like you can re-roll every turn, but you just don't have to do for every individual vine. Yes. And does it start on their turn, or can they take the damage already?
It would start on their turn, or like I said, whenever they first entered 15 feet of me. So that would be up to you.
Okay.
I don't know how fast I reacted.
I mean, they're slow, but they're still creeping, you know?
Yes. And then I think since they kind of look like plants, I'm going to hurl a fire at them.
Fireball.
I'm gonna produce flame and throw it at one of them. Does a 28 hit them? One of them?
No. Yes, it does.
What?
It does.
Damn.
Okay. I would have been like, okay, guys, we're dead. Let's see. 7, 10, and that would be 15 damage to one of them, fire damage, if that matters.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I'm gonna heal myself a little bit more with healing word.
What? No way.
I'm scared now. That will be at 2nd level, FYI, and I will roll that in a second. I need to actually find my D4. So that would conclude my turn.
Okay. As you find your D4, I'll continue forward. So next up are some of the vines. These 5 vines, each creeping in from different locations around the circle, all enter this area of protection and are quickly eradicated. However, their bodies sort of disintegrate, the parts of it that enter this circle, and at the point where it doesn't, you can see that on every single one of these 5 vines, very quickly, the vine is regenerated not into 1, into 2. So the amount of vines has doubled.
Great.
But next is Otto.
That kind of just threw what I was planning out the fucking window. God, I am so sad right now. Here I was about to use a blade and everything, and that just kind of went out the window.
You said radiant damage, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
What damage type is this? Why do you not state your damage type? What's the closest vine to me?
To you, you have 2 vines right next to you because they just duplicated.
Yay, isn't that just fun?
Have you tried burning them?
I did throw fire at one.
That didn't work.
It didn't
Well,
die from getting
obviously,
burnt.
it didn't.
Tried harder.
Wait, so so the one that got burned, did that one duplicate? Or is it just
The one that
singed?
got burnt wasn't dead.
Damn.
They all died from entering the
Okay,
zone.
so I didn't get to throw one. So maybe try fire.
What is a small fire radius? Because I don't have fire spells. So I could use polymorph, but I don't know creatures that have a small fire radius.
Turns
You
into
got
a baby dragon.
No, baby, that was the thing. The baby dragon would still singe everybody in this room. Unless like Claire would like scale it down even more, I don't think
A
there's
newborn dragon.
No.
It's just
No.
I don't have fire spells.
If you want to shoot fire, you'll shoot everybody.
you maybe got a spell called Blight?
No, the closest thing that I
Damn!
have.
Shut up, brother. You're dead.
That is just like it's the anti-plant spell.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting us to fight a fucking plant today. Wait, Claire, can you tell me the other two demons that I could summon again? Just so I can remember.
Brother, I lost that. Well,
I
there's
didn't-
the one that does a shitload of damage occasionally.
Isn't that the grandmother that like can do a lot of damage but like misses several times over?
Yes, and then there's the one that does a little bit of damage but hits every time. You know, I'm just gonna find that and then pin it. I feel like that's probably smart.
That's probably for the best. Damn. Closest to fire I have is Hellish Rebuke, which only works if I get it, if I remember correctly.
froze yourself out.
For real, that's all I'm thinking. Otto just lays on top of one and just Hellish Rebuke. I guess what the fuck has a challenge rating that does fire? The Firefox! Holy shit, I forgot about that!
There's a
Oh my
fire
god!
fox?
No, my staff! It has a fox on it that
Oh my
breathes
god,
fire!
it's finally being useful!
Oh my
I
god!
fucking forgot! Holy shit! You see Otto fucking panicking and just hits like, oh shit, I have this! I have to go find the sheet though. Oh fuck. I wasn't expecting it to appear in my thoughts.
Okay,
Scout
I
Fox, here it
pinned
is.
it. We're good.
Okay.
Do you know who is endowed with certain fire abilities?
Yeah, he's on the floor not doing anything.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Rest in
will
peace,
use-
brother.
I will use the Firefox. The metal fox will now come off the staff. It is now moving on its own, kind of. And I will use its fire breath to shoot to shoot two of them because it's a cone. But I want to angle it so it doesn't hit anybody, if that's possible.
Yeah. The other two,
Okay, cool,
other
cool,
three,
cool.
I guess, are far enough away that you won't hit them.
Okay. And I need a DC saving throw.
Of what? One saving throw.
I need a DC saving throw, a dex.
Okay,
I
it
need to go-
fails.
They both do because it's a 15 cone. I
It
think they're both in it.
fails. Trust me.
They both fail. Okay, okay. Let me just roll the damage. What is this? 4d6. They take 14 fire damage. They a little crispy.
Okay.
Try to think if the fox can do anything. Actually, I'm gonna save this to myself so I don't lose it. And that's all that fox can do, and I'm pretty sure that's my action to summon it. Summon it, if I
Yes,
remember correctly, Claire.
that sounds correct.
So, I think, do any of them look, are there any that are close to me that don't look as injured?
The two most injured ones are the ones that you attacked. The rest of them look completely regenerated.
I'm gonna hold myself back because I don't want to fire at something that's gonna regenerate. We don't know if fire is gonna work. Anyway, I'll end my turn. Well, can I position the fox to be a little closer to the man that's doing the summoning because I want the fox to try and take hits instead of him if they get too close.
Okay.
No, in theory, if they just keep dying and then multiplying, but then if they each have their own their turn, then when they start their turn, they'll just die again. It'll be an endless loop.
Does it
You have no idea. I
all?
was so tempted to put mental prison because it probably would have murked the shit out of them. But I feared that it would hurt everybody because it doesn't state that I can, pick who doesn't get affected by it.
Counterpoint, it's a plant. Why would
Did I
mental
say it's
prison?
a plant?
It looks like a plant.
It does look
Doesn't
like a
act like a
plant.
plant.
Does it look like it's, like
You can't see, you're dead.
I'm me asking. Me asking, I'm trying to get a better thing. This whole ritual deal, you think it'd be something they could bash out mid-combat, or something you gotta wait until end?
I don't know. But anyway, next up, you see 3 more of the vines attempt to grasp towards Creed. And as they enter the zone, Virtue, if you'd please do the honors.
If they fail, their wisdom saving throws, they will take 25 damage.
They fail. They fail. And the 3 of them, again, start to crumble into bits, but the part that remains gets regenerated and doubles, making the total count 16 vines trying to attack him.
It's so over.
Next up is Elise. As you see her shoot one of the vines that Otto was attacking. And yes, it dies. However, it
God.
comes back as another one, making the total count 17.
Jesus Christ.
And next is some more of the vines. As instead of them heading towards Creed, they start to try to wrap around Otto instead.
Oh, this is interesting.
There are 2 of them. Oh, I lost a dice.
Okay.
Hold on. Fell onto the
One
ground.
misses immediately. That's an automatic miss. Automatic miss.
You're
Dead.
funny.
Yeah.
You're funny. Does a 22 and a 19 hit you?
The 22 hits, the 19 misses.
Okay. One of the vines, you're able to kick it off of you fast enough, but the other one manages to wrap around one of your legs, starting to constrict you. You don't really feel like it's like sucking the life out of you or anything, but it is making it a lot harder for you to move as your movement speed is halved.
I have like 45. I'll live. Oh, so are we rounding up or down?
For what?
Because I have a 45 movement speed. So if
Oh.
it's halved.
Move up. Round up. Get an extra
Okay.
Oh, actually,
I
a
got an
little
extra foot.
bit. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
Next up is Sizu. Sizu doesn't attack the vines. Instead, she runs up to Otto and wraps around your waist and lifts you all the way above her head in an arch, trying to
Whoa.
get you out of the vines. Oh,
Start
look at that.
shaking Otto.
It is successful as she rips the vine off of you. However, in return, the other vine wraps around her leg. But next up is Virtue. Virtue, a total head count, there are 19 vines in this battle.
Fucking hell. The thing, if I get rid of it now, then there's gonna be 19 vines that are just gonna all gang on Crete. So what can I do now? I have plant growth. That won't help.
Add more to the pile. Make more vines, actually.
I make vines that are like it to counter them. There we go. No, here. So obviously the radiant isn't working. So we have not seen. Well, I mean, the ones that auto burnt, did they also regenerate, multiply, have babies, all of that circle of life, or
The one that Otto's burnt were not dead.
okay, I'm gonna try and throw it at them with the fire damage and see if that does anything. Supporting the dead Rockcrusher's fury.
Of course.
Does a 22 hit?
22 does hit the vine. You're correct.
Yay!
You're good.
And that would be, that's 7. That is 10. And then, whoa! That's an 8. And that'd be 18 damage.
Okay. You do see that the vine is charred. It does char all the way down to the root. However, from the ground, in the exact same spot, is another vine. So it doesn't duplicate. Another one takes its place.
Okay.
Does, what fucking spell did you use? Guardian something? What's it called?
Yes, Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians. Is that concentration or can you just do it?
It is concentration, so I can't cast any other concentration spells.
Wait a moment.
What?
Well, I don't know if I've been playing it wrong.
Hmm.
But what I usually do is you can't do any other spell that isn't a cantrip.
No, I'm curious. How does it work?
How does spell work?
Uh, Concentration.
Can't I
cast any.
cast other
No.
spells?
New, because you are concentrating. It's like you've got your sort of both your hands out, chanting kind of thing.
You
can move and talk,
I
and
can-
whatever. But
I'm looking it up right now, and I have concentrating on a spell. Wait.
In Roll20, it states in Roll20 it states use concentration spell if you cast another spell that requires concentration. You cannot
it's 5th
concentrate
edition.
on two spells at once. Yes. So that's 5th edition, is that you can't concentrate on two spells that require concentration. Taking damage. That's about taking damage. Okay, I don't care about that.
Therefore, 5e can I cast. Therefore, you can cast non-concentration spells without losing concentration on another spell. You can
Mhm.
cast any non-concentration spell just fine. It's only casting other concentration spells that will be the first. That will thing. Yes, you can do it. Yada yada yada. Yes, but while concentrating on casting another spell does not break the concentration. Yeah, while concentrating on a spell, casting another spell does not break your concentration unless the second spell also requires it. I have now seen 10 things saying it in a row, and I looked
Yeah.
it up before
Yeah,
I cast it.
no, I'm wrong. Yeah.
I literally looked it up, so when you're like,
Whoa!
"Why?" I'm like, no. I
Don't
looked
get
this
heated.
up.
We're fine.
I'm scared now.
Does it specifically say that you can cast spells that don't require concentration while concentrating? Does it just says this one says no, such as moving and attacking. Attacking usually is like melee or shooting a bow.
The ones I've been seeing saying that you can do it casting. If you're concentrating, you still do those spells as long as they're not other concentrations.
I think that sounds a bit funky because you've got concentration spells like Witch Bolt, which is like a continuous beam of spell, and if you're also doing that and casting another spell at the same time,
Concentration. Some
like
spells
doubling
require
your
you to maintain
damage.
concentration or to maintain their activity. If the spell is maintained with concentration, the pack periods in the duration entry. How long you can concentrate on it, and you can end it at any time. Normal activity does not interfere. The following factors can break concentration: casting another spell that requires concentration, taking damage, and being incapacitated or killed. It does not say that require casting any spell. It just says casting another spell that requires concentration.
I think that's a little vague.
Okay, here's what I'll do. Obviously, I'm not gonna like take.
DM rules on that one.
I'm not gonna take away anything that you already done. But how about if you're doing concentration, you can only cast cantrips as you concentrate on a spell.
It's fine. I mean, the fire has been a cantrip this whole time.
Yeah,
Reduce
I
flame
think
is a
you didn't
cantrip.
you do guiding word or something?
I did healing word on
Healing
myself
word.
because I was.
Yeah, like I won't take that away from you, but because it just like clicked in my brain, I was like, wait a second. So if it's a cantrip, you can cast with it, but if it's anything higher, then we'll go by whatever spell you want to cast. But general rule,
Hey.
just cantrips only if you're concentrating. Because if it's not,
Okay.
very powerful thing you could do. I need
fair enough.
I need a little bit of stuff on my side, okay?
Okay. That's fine.
Anyways, sorry. Back into the battle, the heat of battle.
You've got Warcaster, right, Virtue? Like the
No.
cantrip Warcaster. The feat.
Feet.
I could check really quick, but I don't believe I do.
I think that gives you advantage on con saves, but I think it gives you some stuff for cantrip casting.
Wait, I can.
Yes, I do not have it, but at my next level I can.
Aww.
Flutter's eyes.
Oh, okay, no,
What a
that's
passive.
it's different. It just lets you cast when you're using like a sword and a shield.
Yeah.
A bunch
mainly
of
got it for
boring
myself because I
logistics.
And doesn't
I think
Warcaster
that's
also
cool.
make it you can react as a...
Yeah, you can use
Yes.
shocking grasp as an opportunity attack. So you can like taser someone if they try and run away from you instead of hitting them. I don't know.
Give you a magic item and
Oh,
it's
my
just a
punch.
taser.
Okay.
Let's
Virtue, what is
get
that device you have? It's called a taser.
yeah. Let's get back into this thing, shall we? Virtue.
Yes.
The vine came back. What are you doing?
I already threw fire at once, so that would I use my bonus action to prepare a dodge. And then I will sit there and contemplate my life because I can't get rid of these spirit guardians now, or there's 19 vines.
Gotcha. Understood. Next up are some of those 19 vines.
God damn.
You see that some of them have gone into your circle again, 3 of them specific. They will fail whatever save you have them do, so don't even ask. But then 4 of them, all 4 of them have decided to target Elise.
Huge.
Oh, lordy lord. Okay, because the GM rolled very well, you see one of them latch around the arm that she was using to shoot and pin it behind her back. One of them latch onto her leg, and then the other one even able to wrap around her chest and drag her to the ground. It's very unfortunate for her. I feel bad, but ooh. But Virtue, how much damage did the other 3 take?
I rolled very well, and that would be a 30.
Well, look at that. 3 of them are gone. And then 6
then
more
there's
come
6.
left. Then 6 more for that. Making the total 25. 4 of them are on Elise. 1 is on Sisu. And the rest are attempting to grasp towards everyone else. But first, before any of that happens, next is Otto.
Lovely. Am I still being held in the air? Or was I put down? I forgot.
No, you were put down because then Sisu tried to get grasped towards the one vine that's attaching to her now.
Okay. You know what? I don't think we really have much of a choice at this point, and I kind of don't want everyone to get screwed over. So I'm gonna use polymorph and become that dragon from earlier. That
my
gorgeous
God.
dragon. That
Yes,
pixie.
the young dragon. Young
Yeah.
red. Big red.
And
Starts beating them.
God, I'm about to at this point. Shit, just lovely, tasty.
It tastes like
Anyway,
seaweed.
shit. At this point, maybe. All right, let's go take a look at that. Well, let me roll to see if the fox got its fire breath back. What is that? A D6?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Okay. We got. Damn. Okay. Um. Okay. What angle do I have to get all the vines, or most of the vines, in a cone of 30 with
If
least problems with getting people on fire?
if you wanted to, you could hit 10 of them. However, both Elise and Sisu are in the line of fire with that.
Who was the one that was severely pinned down earlier?
Elise is pinned down by 4 of them.
And she actively cannot move.
She's trying to, but these vines are holding onto her very strong. She can still breathe, but she cannot move.
I'm gonna try to free Elise by kind of grabbing her and trying to pull her out.
Okay, make a strength check.
Okay, give me a sec. A 19 plus whatever the hell the dragon strength is, which I have to go nab. Can't check. Hold up one sec. I can't even close my. My Discord broke hard. Give me a sec. plus 19 is a 25.
Okay. With the help of the dragon strength, you're able to pull the one wrapping around her chest and her arm off of her. The one around her leg wasn't close enough for you to be able to grab it with the other two, but you free her enough where she can sit up and move her arms again.
Okay. And then how many of the vines can I get with fire breath without affecting anybody?
Well, I'd say you can get 5. However, you turned into a dragon and helped Elise, so I don't know you can do it much else in your turn.
Yeah, probably not this turn, but more just for later.
At the time, 5. Depending on how many more Virtue can conjure up. Not by her choice, but still. But at the moment, you can get 5.
All right. I think that's all I can do as a dragon. So I'll end my turn there, and then I don't think the fox can do anything. Well, besides bite at a vine, which I don't think will do much, but damage is damage.
Okay.
So I guess I'll roll for that. I'm actually gonna have them pounce anyone that's one of the vines that is within 5 feet of it.
Okay. Most
I got a
likely the
natural
one.
20.
Wow. Most likely the one that's around Elise's leg.
Yeah, and if it's small or tiny, it is now grappled and restrained by the fox, and it cannot do anything.
It is not small or tiny.
Damn. Then I roll 2d4s. That's a 4 and a 3, so 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then I will end the fox's turn there.
7 piercing. Alrighty. Next up is a few more of the vines. Virtue, 5 more vines enter your radius.
Yeah.
2 of the vines attempt to latch onto Daichi's legs as she's in the air, and one of them manages to grapple around her leg and start to pull her back towards the ground. And then 3 of them attempt to grapple Otto's massive dragon form. Ooh! None of those make it. You're lucky.
Would you like me to roll the damage
Please,
again?
if you would.
It would be 17.
Oh, wow, look at that. They don't die. But that means they have entered your circle.
Yep. They're too close.
So 5 of them enter. And you said 17?
Yep.
Okay. Next up is Elise as she attempts to remove the 2 vines that are around her legs. Ooh, she manages to rip one of them off, but the other one manages to stay on. And in retaliation, while another 3 attempt to enter towards Virtue, 2 of them attempt to grapple Elise again as she has escaped. And one of them grapples her arm that she used to get rid of one of the vines. So Virtue, if you would oblige.
23.
Oh my gosh, they're also not dead.
Oh!
next up is Sizu, as she attempts to get rid of the ones that have grappled her. And she's unsuccessful. Before the round tops off again, 3 more vines attempt to enter your radius, Virtue. You don't know how much longer this is going to last before.
Math, right? Ooh, I'm rolling well. Got 24 this time.
They are also not dead.
I got...
You now have 12 that have managed to enter your space. Very unfortunate. And next up is Virtue. These vines are getting very close to you.
Am curious.
You don't know if they're getting stronger or...
Yeah. So, we know fire makes it that they just come back as one. My radiant seems to make them double. Which, again, I don't know if I'm in a position where now I can take away the spirit guardians. So, one of the ones that are on, which ones have been hurt but are within 5 feet of someone?
There are many around you that have been hurt and around you. Many as in 12. All of the ones that are around you have been hurt but still move. Other than that,
Yeah,
there's one on auto that was hurt.
Yeah, so I was being like the ones that are like grappling right now.
Yes.
Others. The one on auto's already been hurt?
Or the one that the Arctic Flock attacked. There's none are grappled around Otto. Elise has 2 grappled around her. Sizu has 2. Daichi has 1. And then Otto is next to one that's been hurt. But none of the ones that are hurt are attacking you all.
Big are they compared to the dragon form I'm in?
Okay. Were the ones that were on Elise? Was one of the ones on Elise hurt at all? Or
No, the one that was hurt, Elise, was able to break away from it, but another one grappled her arm down in place, so she couldn't use it anymore.
okay. How about I'll take but you said Elise ended up getting it off. That doesn't mean it died, right? But it's still there?
Yes, it is still there. But it is barely hurt. 5 feet of her? Yes, it is.
You guys figured out how to actually kill them yet, or are you just making more of them?
I'm trying to figure that out. The one next to the Firefox is hurt, and the Firefox is in 5 feet of it, correct?
Yes, it is.
So would I possibly be able to do sneak attack against it with a crossbow?
You can't attack with concentration.
You can.
I can't physically attack?
Yeah, no, that's specifically stated that you can do that.
Oh, never mind.
But I think you need Warcaster actually, because a crossbow takes up both your hands.
Even a light one?
I
Oh yeah,
think so.
So.
I think there's a difference between a light and a hand crossbow.
Your period started?
Then I just really want to test if
Wait,
physical damage will do anything,
today?
because I feel like the one thing that no one has done is physically take a chop at one of these guys.
I mean, at least it shot one of them, if that counts.
Love you.
But it didn't die, correct?
It did, but...
And it came back?
Yeah, but from personal
You have a
experience, at least his
refresher in here.
bullets are not purely
I'm not a refresher.
physical.
Arizona.
Then I will. Can
Okay.
I then throw a dagger at
Fire.
it?
Yes.
Okay. I just one-handed, so I will chuck one of my daggers. That would be a 26 to hit.
That does hit. Which one were you going for? The one next to the Arctic fox?
Yes.
Okay.
You keep saying Arctic. It's a scout fox.
The scout fox? Well, because I've played an Arctic fox before.
Alright,
That's what I
so
think of.
the plain damage from the dagger, I ended up rolling a 4 on my 1d4. Huzzah.
Look at that.
With a +5, so it would be 9. For my sneak attack damage, I ended up rolling a 5 and a 4. So that's another 9. So it's going to be 18 damage in all. Checking at this thing. And would you consider... Hold on. Because I just got it, so I kind of want to use it. Would Whales from the Grave count as a spell?
Let me look it up.
Because it
What's it
says
called?
immediately after you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature on your turn, you can target a second creature that you could see within 30 feet of the first creature, and it takes an additional 1d6 necrotic.
I say that's not a spell. You can.
Is it called Whispers? What's it called?
Whales from the Grave. That would
Wails
be...
from the grave.
Yes, whales like wailing, like crying. That is a 2. So let's say is the ones that are attached to at least within 30 feet of that one?
Within 30 feet, yes.
I will target one of those.
Okay.
And that will conclude my turn. Did the one that I hit die? The first one.
The first one that you hit did die. And from the wound sprouted another one.
What did we do? They just come back!
But Virtue, you see
Oh, go on.
3 more vines enter your sphere, and you see 6 of the vines attempt to grapple around you. This will be a lot of numbers, so 19, 14, 17, natural 20, 7, and 16.
The 7, the 16, and the 14 fail.
So 3 of them make it.
Yes.
Okay. You see 2 of them grapple around your hands, pinning them down. It doesn't dispel your protection, but it does make it a lot harder for you to really do anything else. And then one of them grapples around your legs. And so 6 of them do that, which means the other 6 are headed towards the man, the myth, the legend himself, not Rockcrusher, Creed.
Hold on. Before catastrophe possibly strikes. Wait. Where'd it go? It says that when it starts its turn in there, it takes the damage, and it would have received 27.
Okay. After the
So what happened?
12, we do some mental maths. Out of the 12, 10 of them will die. And that includes the 3 that grappled on you. However, from the 10 that died,
Yep.
you see 10 more appear, plus one much, much larger and stronger one that is headed right towards you both.
Bring him back.
You also
Does it look
see...
like this thing's ending too?
I mean, Creed's working, if you could say that. Otto, you
I was gonna
see...
say, how long does the cell take?
Hero moment. Hero, 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 hero.
You see 2 of the vines move towards Otto, attempting to grapple you. Oh my gosh, I got 2 22s.
I'm pretty sure I take the Dragon's Armor class, so that grapples me. That gets me.
Okay, one grapples around one of your wings, and the other grapples around one of your arms.
Great.
And do you want to keep going, or should I end this? Or should I end it? That wasn't a question to you, that was me asking myself.
Oh.
I would appreciate not continuing this endless cycle.
Fine.
What do you mean?
I'd go forever if if I didn't stop it. So it isn't fully stopping it. Don't get it twisted. But before we get to the next turn, Virtue, you're right next to him, so you're the first to notice. You notice that Creed is working even harder than before. He is completely keeled over, his chest curled up onto his legs. But you can still see that he is still moving and still working tirelessly. And it's working. The massive crack in the circle has depleted substantially. The circle is slowly healing and gaining its terrifying energy back, but the same goes for the vines. They're still coming, as if it's trying its hardest to keep this ritual circle broken. For as hard as you all are trying to keep it away, you know that at some point it's just going to be too much to handle. Virtue, you're fine, but the more that these vines are trying to attack you, the more that they're coming. The more that all of you attack them, nothing you seal or do seems to be working. Either just bringing it back and regenerating as 1, or as 2, or you've even found out that in some ways it can even bring back 3 at a time. The vines start to enclose around all of you. They don't necessarily wrap around all of you, but they're too much of them for you to even think about which one to attack first. It's overwhelming you at this point. And as the more of it goes wrong, you can count maybe even hundreds of them at this point. They cover the floors, the walls, the ceilings. It doesn't even look like you're in a cave anymore, just wrapped around in a pile of red blood, vines like veins. It's weird. But Creed, who has been mumbling this incantation the whole time, Creed falls silent after completing one of his lines. He lifts up his head ever so slightly, and everything falls still. The vines constricting around any of you, if you have one, and the winces of air loss that some of you still feel are the only things that break the silence. Virtue, you're the only one that can see Creed's face through all of this. When he lifted up his head, his face looked as if it were just a skull. But the energy is slowly growing back, as you see his face go from very tired to a very small smirk. You all hear a ringing sound in your ears. As the ringing grows louder and louder, you see and feel a massive explosion of light pulsing from the middle of the ritual circle. This shockwave expands, filling the whole room. It doesn't seem like it's affecting you, other than the hearing. But as the shockwaves pass by your bodies, you see that the vines covering some of you and covering the floors, everything, they all get pushed away through the shock and disappear. And as the light fades, all of the vines are gone, and the ritual circle has been fixed. The only thing that the light lingers on is Creed. It dances on its body as if it's trying to communicate with him. He's sitting up tall, as if he's gained some form of energy from that burst. There's still a chance. I know there is. Sisu, being freed from the freakish amount of vines that were covering her body, she runs over to the circle and sits next to Creed, taking his hand in hers. And she looks to the rest of you. Come on, we don't have much time. Creed is strong, but we'll be doing something that only the gods should be able to do. Everyone needs to trust in Rockcrusher completely and offer him help. He has the choice to come back if he wants, but we need to try and make that as easy for him as possible.
Virtue will run over and probably to the other side of Creed.
Yeah, I'll turn back to my normal self and also run over.
Okay. You all sit around this ritual circle in a circle and do the best that you can to hold hands, even with the few amount of you. I think there's 5 of you. You two, Creed, Elise, Sisu, and Daichi. So there's 6 of you. And you hold hands, trying your hardest to do whatever vague nonsense Sisu was telling you to do, but can I have all of you roll? I'm gonna have you roll 2 things. Can you roll an Arcana check and a Constitution saving throw?
So for the Arcana, you're not gonna believe it.
I won.
But I got my first nat 20.
Huge.
What is happening?
Mm-hmm.
This next one's gonna be a 1, I know it.
Con save.
It wasn't a 1. Spoiler alert.
I got a
Dang.
19.
For the Arcana?
Yes. And then... Ooh, these don't look like good numbers. Okay, let's roll. We got this. Do I have any advantages on this? Nope. Okay, that's fine. Totally fine.
What was the number, please, if you will?
I'm rolling it now. Oh, I'm in trouble.
Oh no.
Who would like to guess?
Nat 1.
Yeah, with a +2.
Ah, how beautiful. 3.
But a nat 1 on a skill check.
But a natural 1 on not a skill check, a saving throw.
Yeah.
Virtue?
Can I switch?
Still not great.
I got a 19.
Okay.
Can I switch on that one for the natural 20?
But on that note, let's move over to Rockcrusher.
Okay, if you could all just sort of plug into the live stream. You don't have to watch it, just listen. Proceed.
Oh my god.
Rockcrusher, you have been falling quasi around for a while now, aimlessly through the void. You start to question if there's even a real reason that you've been walking through this thing. It kind of just seems like extra work that you don't really want to worry about right now. But the silence is broken by Quasi as he turns his head to you and says, "Have you noticed a lack of Quinn Lockwood around?"
Occasionally.
Did you know that is on purpose? He is respecting your wish for him to stay away and at the same time using this as a test to see how you will fare without his help. Of course, you had mine a little bit, but everything that you and your group have done, controlling the curse, making it through Zatharax, getting into the interdimension, taking down the dragon, that was all of your doing.
Sort of knew we could do without him. I just never really liked the guy.
What would you say your biggest accomplishment in your life was?
Question. And I have a couple of minutes to consult my memory.
Of course, we have all the time in the universe.
It's a pretty good question, actually. I'm having trouble thinking about like if I've actually done anything necessarily good.
You've done plenty good things, I'm sure. You just gotta think hard enough.
I mean, good
Yeah, but
things
like-
I could label off.
But
Go-
like
you-
but like objectively good, like hero shit.
Take your time. You're dead after all.
I mean, to say your greatest
Suggestions?
accomplishment can be something personal. It doesn't have to be something that everyone else would see as your greatest accomplishment. Even if you just felt accomplished that you were able to, like, say, if you wanted to be a little cheesy, like, actually be able to look back on, like, murdering Olive Kane and be like, man, I really felt bad for this kid and genuinely apologized to her for making her hide in her mom's corpse. And you're proud of that, and that's an
Yeah.
accomplishment for you. You could say that.
That's
Just
stupid
an
as hell.
example.
See,
That's
that,
why I
right,
said
that
easy.
very clearly sort of depicts a difference between my and Rockcrusher's sort of way of thinking about good deeds.
Well, what would Rockcrusher
I
think?
said it was cheesy.
What does
Well, Rock
Rockcrusher
probably wouldn't be
think
proud
his
of that.
greatest accomplishment was?
Oh, it has put a bit into perspective a bit there, yeah.
Hey man, I just asked the question.
Yeah, well, it's a big question, you know. Done a lot of stuff.
You have. You're what? I can never remember your age. I always think you're like 80 years old, but you're like 35 or some shit.
Yeah, no, I'm in like my mid-30s, I think. Yeah, no, I'm 30 apparently.
Oh. Look at that. So
Which
you're
is like
older than you.
It's like middle-aged for Dragonborns, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can look it up while you're thinking about everything that you've done in your life. Well, you live to 80, just the same as humans.
That's very disappointing.
Wah wah. Ooh, my bad. Ooh, that's unfortunate for you.
There was that time we sort of killed Otto's foster parents, liberated the town. It was pretty fun. People really liked us when we did that.
You'd say that was your biggest accomplishment.
Maybe. Nah, it was a good accomplishment. Maybe not my best, but
May I add my 2 cents into it?
Feel free.
I personally believe that your biggest accomplishment was to solve your conflict with the RKP not through fighting, but with your words. Out of every option, you accepted how much you destroyed Elise's life and became the adult in this situation to apologize. To you, that may have just been some kind gesture to someone you attempted to kill. But to me, and to the Guardians, what you don't know is what impact that small gesture did. In the prophecy, Elise was destined to die by your hands. The storyline was as follows. The party brings her into the interdimension. You kill her, steal the machine that used to get into the interdimension, and leave. But you didn't do that. That single conversation you had with her changed the prophecy. Daichi wasn't supposed to die, but when you spared Elise's life, Midas used Daichi as a replacement. I was never supposed to become Quasi-Blindseye. You were never supposed to find out about Blindseye in the first place. You were never supposed to end up in Drahadux, met Lolian, getting the lightning bolt, none of it. But what you were destined to do was become the dragon. Funny how everything you did up until that point all ended with your prophecy remaining the same. It's almost sad how you never ended up changing your prophecy. But what you have done is set up a domino effect for after your prophecy. If you didn't do what you did for Elise, you never would have met Quasi-Blindseye, but because you did, now you have the chance to make a new life for yourself past your prophecy. Isn't it amazing how much freedom you obtain by using your destined life to the fullest? And now look, your friends are actively trying to bring you back now. Quasi gestures to the ground in the space between both of you. You look down to another image on the ground. It's your party, with Elise, Daichi, Seizu, and Creed sitting in a circle around the ritual circle, completely healed over, and the massive Bakuzo hovering above it. Your friends are down there, giving everything they have to bring you back. If you didn't do what you did before the prophecy, none of this would be possible. Yes, you were destined to become the dragon, and you did. But because of how you lived your life, you have the chance at a second one. It might not mean much to you, but it means the galaxy to me. And that is your greatest accomplishment. You changed your prophecy, not before, but after.
That's very nice of you, but you're wrong. Everything that I did with Elise and with my friends, I was making right what I've done wrong. It's not greatness, it's just making right. It's what would be expected of anyone. I am of the opinion that my greatest moment is yet to come. So, I don't know if that's an acceptable answer. But how about we wait until I die again, and I'll give you a proper answer then.
Of course. Everyone starts at different parts of the path. Don't be upset with what you have done so far. Being able to right the wrongs is something that not most people are willing or able to do, and you should be happy with the things that you have done before your first death. It's wonderful. I mean, look. One of the people that you attempted to murder, two of the people you've attempted to murder, are sitting in that circle right now, bringing you back. So don't be upset. Iraq Sadar. Go ahead.
Not upset. This is sort of a new adventure, right?
Of course. That's half of the joys of living. Iraq Sadar. I'm giving you the second chance at a second life. Not reincarnation. The chance for your soul to be transported back into your body. However, this does come with a steep price. Not for me, but for you. If I return you back to your body, you will not have the curse anymore. This sounds like a good thing, of course. However, you've had that curse since before you were even born. No one has any clue what will happen to your body with it being removed. You might become much weaker, lose your color, lose abilities. We don't know. That will be a consequence that you have to deal with. Your second option, of course, is for me to take your soul to the true afterlife, the after death. You will not go to Drahadux, and you will become a legend as the man that single-handedly took out the largest tribe on Holta and began the final reset. Do you wish to go back into the stressful world that you live in, dealing with the reset in a weakened body, or do you want to rest peacefully here and now, known as a legend? This choice is yours. And I want you to DM me your choice. Do not say it out loud. As we move back over to Otto and Virtue.
Hello.
Back.
I'm scared. For good reason.
Yeah. Virtue and Otto, you, along with the other NPCs around you, are trying your absolute hardest, focusing on the ritual as close as you can, trying to help bring Rockcrusher back. You feel the winds pick up around you in this cave that's not supposed to have wind, as the circle glows brighter and brighter. Most of the time your eyes are closed, but for a short second, short periods of time, you open your eyes to see what's going on around you. And you see Cinderburn slowly tilt its head down into the circle. As the creature's head gets closer and closer to Rockcrusher's body, the wind picks up more and more, making it harder for you to pass and push through. However, seeing the determination of Daichi, the strength of Elise, the energy of Sizu, and the power of Creed, you pushed through. Cinderburn touches its head, to Rockcrusher's back. After barely a tap on its back, the energy immediately fades away. You feel as though the energy that you had, a little of it left, has been almost completely sucked out of your body and into the ritual. Virtue, please take yourself down to 25 hit points, and Otto, take yourself down to 10.
Anyway.
That's 25 max and 10 max.
Yes, you are correct.
Oh, like max hit points, like you've now got 10 hit points. You've got
Well,
like
no.
level 1 wizard's hit points.
No. Yes, Otto, you only have 10 hit points now. No.
Oh my god.
Just take yourself
I
down
normally
to
only
10.
have 10 hit points.
You said 25, correct?
For you, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this whole endeavor's like set us back to like level 5.
Yeah. Oof, it's a lot, you know.
I'm gonna cry.
Everyone else looks just as tired as you. Elise has to put a hand on her chest to take a few extra deep breaths, sees you close her eyes and prays that it worked. Daichi begins to tear up, fearing the worst, and Kree doesn't show any of his emotion, but you can tell that he's just as fearful as the rest of you. You both sit there, holding your breath. The seconds move by at a snail's pace, as it seems like it's too late. That is, until you hear rustling from underneath you. Your attention immediately shoots down to the sound of movement on the ground as you see Rockcrusher twitch. His body moves around as you hear a small grumble from the supposedly dead dragon. His fiery red skin fades into a charcoal black color. The tips of his tail gains a small hint of light blue similar to Sizu's pattern. He loses some thick scales and muscle, but he is alive. He takes a long, deep breath in and slowly sits up, opening his eyes again. Daichi immediately runs up to him, gently but still very firmly, giving him a massive hug. And she says, "Oh my God, I can't believe it worked. You're back. You're really back."
Am I really back?
Rockcrusher, you are, in fact, really back. In a lot of pain,
Let's go.
but back with 1 hit point.
Like, Virtue's just gonna, like, cross her arms, but no watch with as much of a smile as I can do.
Damn.
Little one.
I was kind of like, I was gonna like lean back on the floor and just kind of cough a bit, like, oh. I need a moment. Nice, Rock's alive. Hey, Rock, how you feeling? I'm sure he's fine.
Daichi, you might be killing him.
Again. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She still sits next to you, but she isn't holding you as tight.
Can I healing word myself?
Yes, you can.
How was the afterlife?
I healed 4 hit points.
Nice.
Have a good nap.
You caused quite the shit show.
You nearly killed Virtue. Almost killed me twice.
I know, I saw it was quite funny.
Thanks,
You
dude.
guys probably deserved it.
Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Glad to see you back.
Just throw up a little bit.
Ugh.
Somehow it's got sweet corn in it, but
Of course, of
there we
course.
go.
Are you laying down, by the way? I know.
Yeah, he's like
Claire said you got up, but also
he's
yeah,
sitting.
I'm
He's like sitting
up.
up, but then he
I'm like
falls
on my
right
I'm
back
like
down.
on my knees.
Virtue will walk up and offer a hand.
Well, this was one hell of a ride.
You know
Thank
what?
you.
You know what
Oh.
you did? The tribe is paranoid. Wolfsbane, Jinx, and Spine are all missing, and the reset has started.
Interesting. Could the reset wait until after I've had a nap? Blech. Throw up again.
Virtue like dodges out the way.
There's a bit of blood in it.
Yeah, I'm not getting
Kind of
close
like
to that.
like warily pats him on the back.
The Guardians don't know that you're alive yet. I don't know how long it'll take for them to realize, but I
They're
guess
not gonna be happy.
you can't really do much in the state that you're in.
Really no. Blech. It's
I don't
just all
think
blood.
anyone-
It's just all blood
Just-
that time.
Just let it out. pat.
I think we should get like
Supposed to be letting
medical.
that out.
I think maybe we should get like medical attention, a long rest, cough cough, nudge nudge.
This is how we force Creed to rest.
Yeah.
Looks like
Creed-
literally. I don't like looks to Creed as they're saying that. Cough cough, nudge nudge.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Creed
Yeah, but don't
pats
do
himself
not lay in your
off.
own blood. Over here.
I
Yeah.
just sit down in the same spot where I was and just curl up into a ball.
How is Creed looking after this?
Creed, he looks a little bit more rejuvenated from it, as if you've almost like fueled him as well. Definitely still not in fighting condition, but he still pats himself off and stands up and says, once you all get your catnap in order, we need to stop this. You all, whether you wanted to or not, have started this fire. But now, you need to stomp it out.
He said the lie. He said the thing.
Well, we are the fire starters.
Why
Yeah,
did we ever pick that name?
this was cool.
It's really ironic how that one's really come to bite us in the ass several times over. I feel like if there's this fire stir, they're gonna point towards us now. For good reason. We probably did cause it.
Please, just get some rest as fast as you can. There's no saying how much time we have while the Guardians are unaware of your current location.
Shit, I just need like 3 hours. It should be fine.
And be prepared, because in the morning, we fight. And that's where we'll end the session.
Let's go.
Yay!
So,
And everyone
what is up
takes a long rest.